His last start, a rough one. 1 1/3, gave up the 6 runs throughout the course of the evening, put the Bees in a hole. They rallied back to cut it to a 1-run game after trailing by 6, but overall fell by the final score of 10-6. The start before that, Manoah allowed just 1 run in his 5 innings of work and got the win, and that was against one of the best offenses in all of AAA, the Albuquerque Isotopes. Drew Swift will make his way towards the batter's box as he greets the catcher, Omar Martinez, tapping him on the shin guard. Las Vegas in their road orange uniforms here today. Swift with the eye black. And he goes with the usual eye black, not that tape stuff. He steps in. Manoah takes a moment on the back slope of the mound for himself. It's the Bees. It's the Aviators. It's a Sunday night. We're at the ballpark at America First Square, and there's no place I'd rather be. Swift, 1 for 4 last night, 4 for 19 in the series, 5 walks. A tough customer. First pitch hits the outside corner, a called strike. It is at 6:08, 94 degrees. Here, our game time temperature. It is certainly right in the thick of summer. Here comes the 0-1. And Swift strokes it out to left center field. That's going to get down in the gap. It's going to split the gap and go to the wall. Swift looking on as he heads towards second base, but he'll hold up there. Drew Swift with his 11th double of the season. It's a leadoff double here in the top of the first inning. It'll bring up Michael Stefanik. Boy, Michael has had a great series against his former team. As Michael, 2 doubles, and he's 8 for 20 throughout the week. He doubled last night. This lineup is a good one from Las Vegas. They're the first half champions in the PCL. They will have home field advantage in the LCS coming up in September. Pitch inside and hit him right in the back. And has been a problem at times for Alek Manoah, just simply command. As even in the outing, when he allowed 1 run in his 5 hits, he still walked a number of hitters. He had 6 during that game. But Manoah, in that first inning back in game 1, he had walked 2, and he also hit a couple of batters. Here's Cade Marlowe. He had a 3-run home run against Alek Manoah in game 1. First pitch outside. For more on the game, here's Sammy Miller.
Tony, B's starting pitcher Alek Manoah is looking for a big bounce-back performance tonight to help put his team in a position to win and to secure the series split against the first half PCL champs in the Aviators. And I spoke with B's pitching coach Shane Lukes, and he said the biggest thing for Manoah is staying in the zone. They really want him to keep a delivery that's small, repeatable, and be in the strike zone. Limiting the walks is key, so simplifying his delivery has been a huge point of emphasis this week. And Shane added that it doesn't really matter who's in the box right now. With what they are doing with him specifically, they just need him in the zone tonight, Tony.
Well, yeah, throwing strikes is going to be so important. I know it sounds so simple, but when you get behind hitters in this league and then you get behind good hitters, bad things are going to happen. And on top of that, if you end up issuing too many free passes, this is the kind of league, and this is certainly the lineup that can make you pay for it. 2 on, nobody out, no score, top 1. Manoah down 3-0 in the count. The pitch is outside to Marlowe. So a double, a hit by pitch, and a base on ball, and trouble in this top of the first for Alek Manoah. And here comes Tommy White. Tommy White was 0 for 4 last night. A double and a home run in the series, 7 for 21. During the season, Tommy White, 1 for 6 with the bases loaded. That one was a grand slam. White right-hand batter, wide stance. Puts the bat on his shoulder, bobbing it up and down the pitch. White takes low, 1-0. And for the Bees, this is a team that has been really good at home so far this season. They're looking for a series split. They're 4-3-7 record in series play, while looking to remain unbeaten at home, 3-0-4. Here comes the 1-0. White pops it up, infield fly, over to the shortstop, Berra. He makes the catch. White was retired anyway. Key first out for Manoah. Runners hold at first, second, and third. It'll bring up Jared Dickey. Well, that has to feel so good to get an out like that. After loading the bases, soft contact, an easy play for your infield. Jared Dickey, 1 for 4 last night, 4 for 19 in the series. Left-hand batter, set and ready. Here comes the pitch from Manoah. Outside. Stumbling out to get it was Martinez. Jared Dickey, former teammate of Christian Moore's at Tennessee. I believe his sister Kelsey played softball at, I think it was UT Martin. Swift at third, Stefanik at second, Marlowe at first, 1 out, no score. Manoah from the stretch, knee up, foot down, fires. It's down and in. Nice pick by the catcher Martinez. And it has been tough with the command so far for Alek Manoah. The first one well outside, the next one well inside, as he's trying to straighten it out. Jared Dickey, 2 for 6 with the bases loaded, including a double. A .326 hitter with runners in scoring position overall. And Manoah is going to step off. Well, the Bees punched first last night. Much needed win. They've had a back and forth series. They've had a few games that have been back and forth. But Las Vegas has been a step ahead most nights. 2-0 in there for a strike. 2 very impressive pitching performances from Salt Lake. They had the shutout back in game number 2. That was magnificent. With George Clausen going 7 shutout frames, and then it was Caleb Ort 6 up, 6 down in the 8th and the 9th. Here's the 2-1. On the inside part of the plate, a strike. 2-2. 1 out, bases loaded. Top 1, no score. The Aviators threatening. Last night, another great evening from the bullpen. Dylan Tate looked good in his 2/3. Hootie Harding has looked excellent. Sammy Peralta with a 1-2-3 ninth, but a great sign from Grayson Rodriguez in his rehab start, as he gave up 1 through 5 1/3. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Dickey takes in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Martinez. Count full, bases full. With 1 down in this top of the first. One thing you'd like to see if you're the Bees, after Manoah has loaded the bases, find a way to minimize some damage here. But it'd be great if he could find a way to get out of it unscathed. But as Sammy reported, trying to find the strike zone more consistently. Manoah's going to step off, and this time has been called by Martinez, the catcher. Second disengagement. We reset. Swift at third, Stefanik at second, Marlowe at first. A big threat early on here from the Las Vegas Aviators. The pitch to Jared Dickey. Grounded softly towards the second baseman, Goebel. He has it, flips to second for 1. Vera has no play towards first. They get the middle runner. Coming in to score on the play is Swift. So fielder's choice 4-6. It's 1-0 Las Vegas. While you hate to give up a run, what you love is it wasn't great contact. And you get this out here, you can find a way to just get out of this without a crooked number on the board. Drew Swift, after the leadoff double, comes in to score. Swift with the only hit in this inning. Here is Chad Wallach, former Salt Lake Bee. First pitch, sky-high pop-up. Left field, not deep, going out the shortstop Vera. Coming in is Paris. Vera down by the line, by the side track, and it drops down. It goes behind Paris, out by the warning track, as coming in to score Stefanik. Behind him is Dickey. Wallach ends up at third, and it's 3-0 Las Vegas. Well, off the bat, it looked harmless. And the way Wallach dropped the bat, you could feel he thought this inning was over. Vera had such a long way to go. He's out down by the left field line. Paris was coming over there. Vera with a great effort to hustle out there, but he's looking straight above his head and twisting back. He did get a piece of it with his glove. Right now it's ruled a triple, and I like that ruling because that is a brutally tough play for Vera to make. And Paris also had a long way to go coming over. First pitch, missing for a ball to Jack Winkler. What a tough break for the Bees. That ball hung up perfectly in the right spot. It's one of those plays that they'll certainly go over between games. As Paris had a long way to go, so did Vera, as the 1-0 in the dirt, blocked by Martinez. And for Vera, I mean, staring up, running that kind of a distance from short, certainly he expects to make the play. And while they've ruled it a triple at this moment, I think that is the right call. That is a brutally tough play for him. I did not see initially how far Paris had to go to try and close that down. Here's the 2-0 to Jack Winkler. Inside, arms up. 3 balls and no strikes. Boy, off the bat, it just felt like, there you go. A 1-run inning, you take it, you reset, and you're good to go. With your bats coming up in the bottom of the first, and all of a sudden it is 3-0 in this first. Wallach is at third base. Pitch from Manoah. It's at the knees, a strike, 3-1. Chad Wallach, such a great member of this team, that being the Bees and the Angels over the previous 5 years. Turned himself into the villain the other night with that 9th inning home run to break the 9-9 ties. The 3-1 is up, ball 4. Second walk issued here by Manoah. First and third, 2 down. Here is Colby Halter. Colby Halter, 1 for 10 in this series. Well, surprisingly, Colby Halter, with runners in scoring position, is 0 for 19. He's going to try to put an end to that here. Halter, left-hand batter, set. And time has been called. They'll reset. Halter over there at first base, 4 for 4 stealing bases so far this year. Wallach at third, Winkler at first. Pitches inside. Winkler, is 5 for 7 stealing bases. Colby Halter 0 for 1 against Manoah. Back on Tuesday night, runners with their leads. Here comes the 0-1 from Manoah. Kicks and fires. Winkler on the move. That's sky high in the air. Center field, sliding into second base was Winkler. Bottom of the first inning, Salt Lake trailing 3-0 against the Las Vegas Aviators. Joey Estes on the mound for the Aviators, 3-6 with an ERA of 6.28. Nelson Rada to lead things off here at the bottom of the first. Rada 2 for 5 last night, had a triple. It's great seeing him get a multi-hit game here in the month of July. He'll be headed to the Futures game coming up on the 12th in Philadelphia to get things started for the All-Star Week in the city of brotherly love. Boy, Nelson Rada is so much fun to watch. Left-hand batter against the righty Estes. Swings and misses 0-1. Rada 3 for 8 against Joey Estes. Estes no stranger to facing the Bees, including game 1 of this series. As we mentioned the struggles that Manoah had, Estes also had a tough day as that pitch misfires, and it's 1-1. Estes in game 1, 3 innings of work, 5 earned runs, 6 hits, walked 3, punched out 7. Estes looking for better luck this time. The 1-1, and Rada swings and misses 1-2. Nelson Rada, a great table setter, excellent hitting to all fields. One of 4 current Bees to go to the Futures game at some point in their career. Pitches up and away, 2-2. Salt Lake pitchers George Clausen and Caden Dana, they were a part of the Futures game. Kyron Paris back in 2023 was in the Futures game. At the knees, called strike 3. He is the first Salt Lake Bees player to play in that game, though, since 2016. Gonna bring up Yolmer Sanchez. 1 out, nobody on, 3-0 Las Vegas at the bottom of the first. This is the final homestand before the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, the Bees have 9 games at home. A 3-set on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'll be country weekend. You want to be here for that. Yolmer Sanchez takes outside ball one. Yolmer didn't play in yesterday's game, although he had a great history on the 4th of July. But the Bees were still victorious 9-1. Yolmer 3 for 11 in the series, 2 doubles. He's reached base 9 times, 6 walks. His pitch right at the knees, 1-1, a head tilt from Sanchez. Borderline strike going the way of Estes. Yolmer reached in all 4 plate appearances back on Thursday. Pitches down, 2 balls and a strike. And Yolmer Sanchez drove in his 400th run batted in during that last series at Albuquerque. So the 2-1 is high, 3 balls and a strike. Those 400 runs batted in at the AAA level. And Yolmer, who had plenty of time in the bigs throughout his career. The winner of a Gold Glove back in 2019. Sanchez flies it high, left side now to play. Count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty, bottom of the first. 3-0 Las Vegas. On the Sunday night, some fans still making their way on in, getting settled into their seats. I do like the Sunday night game. I understand a Sunday afternoon game is wonderful when the weather gets really hot. In the middle of the day, during the summer months, it is great to have the Sunday night game. Nice, healthy Sunday night crowd here. The berm is not packed, although pretty healthy. 3-2, line drive right at the shortstop Swift for out number 2. An atom ball. Boy, he smashed this. Swift just had to sink down to a right knee and make the catch. Well, they had it shifted perfectly. Swift is a lot of fun to watch defensively. He almost made a miraculous play last night, sliding down deep in the hole on the grass, popped up. It's the first pitch to Ben Goebel, a called strike, 0-1. Both teams, you can see why they have been the best team in the PCL, being Las Vegas #1 and the Bees #2 since May 12th. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Goebel starts after it. The pitch was high. They appealed the swing. He didn't go. It's 1-1. Ben Goebel, a 2-run homer yesterday. 3 home runs in the series. 3 home runs in his last 4 games. A 26-game on-base streak right now. Here comes the 1-1. Goebel takes for a strike, 1-2. 3-0 Aviators, bottom of the first inning. Base is empty, 2 down. Joey Estes struck out Rada, got Sanchez to line out to short. 1 strike away against Goebel. The pitch, Goebel smokes it out to left center field. This ball down for a base hit. Boy, he just keeps on hitting. His 8th hit of the series. 2-out single to keep the inning alive. He is now 8 for 21 in this series. He's reached base 11 times, and when he gets on, he's a danger. Ben Goebel with 2 stolen bases during the week. You know, sometimes you see a player, might take him a second to get settled in. Not Ben Goebel. Right away, he's been ready to go. You would never know that he joined this team just a few weeks ago. Here comes the first pitch to Candelario. A check swing foul, straight back, 0-1. Candelario, a 3-hit night last night. It was the 4th 3-hit game of the year. For Candelario, all of his home runs this year on the road. Switch hitter from the left-hand side. The righty Estes from the stretch. Deals, pitch high. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-0 Las Vegas. They put up a 3 spot in the top of the first, including a 2-run triple from former Salt Lake Bee Chad Wallach. Wallach behind the dish right now. Here comes the 1-1. Candelario takes outside. 2 balls and a strike. Candelario was 1 for 3 against Estes with a walk. Bees down 3 games to 2 in this series. Las Vegas swept that first 3-gamer all the way back in March. 2-1. Pitch is just up. 3 balls and a strike. Then they split their 6-gamer in Las Vegas in April. The Bees took the first 3, and they were looking great. Well, they had back-to-back games with 14 or more hits. Candelario takes the 3-1 high, ball 4. So the first 2 retired. Next 2 have reached. First and second, 2 down. 3-0 Las Vegas. Here is Omar Martinez. El Martinez against Estes. 2 for 4, a double and a home run. Last night was the 3rd time Salt Lake had 14 hits against Las Vegas this year. Win today for the Bees, and they would split this 6-gamer with the Aviators. First pitch. Martinez watches it outside, 1-0. Martinez not in the lineup last night, 4 for 9 in the series with those 2 doubles. And 3 runs batted in. Here comes the 1-0. Martinez takes, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Suddenly Estes, after giving up that single to Goebel, walked Candelario down to the count 2-0 against Martinez. Omar, a 200 hitter with runners in scoring position. Runners with their leads. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Up and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Now we saw Manoah in the top of the first struggle with command a bit. Now Estes having a hard time with it while he's trying to put a lid on this first inning. Walking to his lead at second, Goebel. Candelario, a good lead at first, nobody guarding. The pitch, 3-0, green light, line drive to the center fielder Marlowe, almost right at him.
Left field, number 21, Brian Huelvas.
Top of the second inning, 3-0 Aviators. Brian Buelvis, Drew Swift, Michael Stefanik, night 1-2 hitters due up against Alec Manoah. Join us when the Bees are at home on Tuesday nights. That's family night right here at the ballpark at America First Square. Get your tickets at slbees.com. Well, that next family night coming your way on the 21st. You get 4 tickets, $40. Brought to you by Holmes Homes. Brian Buelvis, 1 for 3 with the double last night. Welvis takes a called strike, 0-1. The Bees were leading in total runs before that 3 spot in the first. It's now 33-32 Las Vegas on top of Salt Lake in terms of the combined score throughout the week. The 0-1. Outside, a ball and a strike. Welvis 0 for 1 against Alec Manoah. Welvis standing on the back chalk line. The 1-1 pitch caught on a miss. 1-2. Well, wouldn't it be great with the battles these two teams have had to see them in a best of 3 in September? Well, we talk about the Bees wanting to pull even in this series. So important to pick up as many wins as possible early in this second half. And going into that All-Star break, the Bees with a 6-gamer next week at Sacramento. Pitches low, 2-2 is the chase for the second half title. You know, it's always going to be a tight one, and it's always going to be tough if you're fighting from behind. This is something the Bees have had struggles with over the past couple of years, even when they've had a great stretch of play. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down. Welvis, the first strikeout victim of the night for Alec Manoah. 1 out, nobody on, 3-0. Las Vegas on top. We'll be keeping an eye on the second half standings. Las Vegas, the leader. They're tied with Sugar Land right now. Both teams 8-3, but of course Las Vegas has already clinched. So the Space Cowboys with a 1-game lead at the moment over Round Rock. The Bees 3 games back. It's the pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Martinez. Night in and night out. You just never know what's going to happen, but you also know you never know who's going to get hot at different times in this second half. 4 of the 5 games tonight in the PCL, they are night games. The only matinee, Reno won at Tacoma 2-1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swift takes downstairs. Counts 2-0. Drew Swift, a double back in the first inning. He would come in to score. It was a 3 spot in the first for Las Vegas. They lead 3-0. 1 out, nobody on. Manoah, knee up, foot down, and fires. Belt high, inside part of the plate, a strike. 2-1. And for Drew Swift, he was the organization's defensive player of the year last season, and for good reason. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swift ready. And Swift watches that downstairs. 3 balls and a strike. He's 5 for 20 in the series. He's drawn 5 walks. Manoah, who had a tough time in that first, as he walked 2 and hit a batter. He's trying to keep the base paths clean here in the top of the second. The 3-1 pitch. Yeah, that's a bit low. Ball 4. Nibbled just below the bottom rail. So Drew Swift reaches for the second time, and it brings up Michael Stefanik. He was hit by the first pitch he saw from Manoah. Michael Stefanik, former Salt Lake Bee, who had a 62-game on-base streak. That covered over the 22 and 23 seasons. I had a chance to get to know him while I was the MC down on the field, and then also as the broadcaster, as he was on the roster in 2024. Throw over to first, and lunging over to get it, Nicholson, the first baseman. Back in standing up was Drew Swift. Swift 11 for 14 stealing bases. But Stefanik was a part of that Bees team that won 12 in a row, 15 out of 16 in the second half of that 24 year. You could feel that the Bees were making a move to the postseason. Swift with a good jump at first. The pitch is low, and standing up at second base is Drew Swift. So Drew Swift in scoring position, 1 out. Manoah from the stretch. Long hold, looking back at Swift. Here comes the pitch. Stefanik hits it high in the air to the left of center. Going back, Rada. Still going back. It's going to one-hop the wall. Rada, the center fielder, scoops it up. In to score easily is Swift. Switching places with him at second base is Michael Stefanik with an RBI double, and it's 4-0 Las Vegas in the top of the second. Now for Stefanik, his 3rd double of this series, his 16th double on the season, and his 9th hit during the week. So 3 in the first for Las Vegas, 1 here in the second. When Stefanik, when he joins your lineup, when he joins your clubhouse, you feel the impact that he makes. And he made it with Salt Lake's team a couple of years ago, off the end of the bat from Kate Marlowe to the third baseman, Candelario. He'll scoop it up and throw to first just in time. Marlowe legging it out. Will turn and head back to the dugout. Holding at second base was Stefanik. 5-3 the put out, 2 out. Stefanik at second base. It brings up Tommy White. And Tommy White popped up to the shortstop Vera back in the first inning. Las Vegas 4, Salt Lake nothing. A tough start here for Alek Manoah. White, a .266 hitter with runners in scoring position. White takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Tommy White, 11 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs on the year. He has 5 runs batted in during this series. Looking for a 2-out hit here in the second. Manoah trying to keep this at a 4-run deficit. Here comes the 1-0, and a look back to second. Stefanik is going to hold there. Excited for next week. The Bees visit the Sacramento River Cats. Make sure to join us on our radio broadcast all throughout the week. The final 6-gamer before the All-Star break. Manoah kicks and deals. And it's softly grounded towards the shortstop, Vera. He'll pick it through the wicket, straighten up, throw to first. In time, the inning is done, but another run on the board. Bottom of the second inning, Salt Lake trailing by the score of 4-0 against the Las Vegas Aviators. When the Bees are at home on Wednesdays, they become the Utah Dirty Sodas. Make sure to join us Wednesday nights here at the ballpark in America First Square, where the Bees become the Dirty Sodas. Get your Dirty Sodas gear at the Bees team store. Also check out everything from hats, jerseys, t-shirts, and more, souvenirs. Everything you need, it's at the Bees team store with the Utah Dirty Sodas. And the Dirty Sodas picked up their 3rd win while wearing the Dirty Soda unis. That was back on Wednesday of this series. And we have a Dirty Soda name for all those wins. Kyron Paris leads off the bottom of the second, takes a strike from Joey Estes. That first one they won, it was a walk-off, so we called it a walk-off on the rocks. Second time, the Bees scored 12 runs. That being the Dirty Sodas, excuse me. This next pitch outside, 1-1. We called it a dirty dozen. That was the name of the new dirty soda. And then a game on Wednesday because George Clausen pitched 7 shutout innings. It's the 1-1. Bounced up the third base line, tight to the line. White plays back on it. Long throw to first. Nice lunge by Halter, who had to climb the ladder a bit to make the catch. And they get the out. 5-3 the put out, 1 down, nobody on, 4-0. Las Vegas. Paris now 1 for 16 in this series. Although he did reach twice last night and scored both times. Nicholson, what a night for him. 2 for 4. A 2-run double, a 2-run homer. Nicholson swings and misses 0-1. For more on Nicholson, here's Sammy Miller.
Tony, for Nicholson and both Goebel, they have started their relationship ever since they were playing baseball in High A. They are extremely close, and I asked Ryan last night after his incredible performance, I said, okay, so when you see Ben hit a home run, do you tell yourself, okay, now it's my turn to really turn it up a notch? And he said, yeah, actually I do. But for somebody like Ryan and Ben, they have been through this journey together, and it's so helpful when you have somebody that not only helps you when it comes to baseball, but just life itself. Those two are extremely close and also have fully taken advantage of every single opportunity at the AAA level. Tony, we've had so many conversations about how they didn't ask for permission. They came up here and they took what was theirs. It's been incredible to watch.
Oh, it has been. I remember there in Reno, it's caught on a missed strike 3 as he lunged down and away to pitch on a 1-2 pitch. That is the second strikeout for Estes. 2 out, nobody on, but Nicholson right away. You can feel it in his defensive work, his attention to detail. He has a great passion for the game. Same thing with Ben Goebel. And just day one, they jump in here. You would never know that they were recently called up. And I know Goebel had, 10 ABs with the Bees last year. But this is really his AAA rookie season. Popped up above home plate from Zach Humphries. The catcher, Wallach, runs over towards the backstop on the left side, and it bounces off the 7th row. No balls and a strike, and a souvenir on a Sunday night. It's a special occasion. If it's her birthday, I think it's her birthday. It is. Happy birthday to you. Look at that big smile, and you got a ball, and you have a great seat. There's no place you'd rather be on your birthday than right here. The 0-1 popped up behind home plate. That'd be another souvenir, but it's for someone in the parking lot that counts 0-2. Humphries 1 for 2 in this series with a double, 2 walks. But watching guys get the call up, back to Sammy's point about Nicholson and Goebel, but taking advantage of the opportunity, taking ownership of what they're doing. As the pitch is down and away, a ball and 2 strikes. Nicholson with the clutch swings in that series against Reno. He had big swings last night. Goebel's caught fire here lately, as his hit streak is now at 13 games. Pitch down, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You have a guy step in and you think, all right, let's be patient. Let's see what happens. Well, not Ben Goebel. So that's grounded third base side through the coach's box. We'll do it again, 2-2. No, Goebel just full speed ahead. 27 game on base streak, 13 game hit streak, and hitting the ball out of the ballpark every night, it feels like. I mean, just so special to see all of that happen. 2 out, nobody on. Bees down 4-zip. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Zach Humphries. Popped up softly right side, foul ground with room. The first baseman Halter makes the grab. Just on the grass, even with the runner's lane in the inning. Top of the 3rd inning, Salt Lake trailing by the score of 4-0 here tonight. The look of summer all over the ballpark. What a healthy Sunday night crowd. That berm is scattered with a lot of blankets out there. The upper deck, lower deck, full of fans and families enjoying this last piece for the 4th of July weekend. We hope it has been a fun one and a safe one. Had a magical moment here last night, just an unforgettable moment. And it's something that has never happened before, and I will guarantee it will never happen again exactly like that. As Jared Dickey leads it off, brought in a run with a fielder's choice and then scored himself. 3 in the first for Las Vegas, 1 in the second. They're up 4-zip. Manoah, 3rd inning of work, fires a pitch to Dickey. Up and in for a ball. Last night, the Salt Lake Bees up 9-1, 2 outs, top of the 9th. On the first pitch, Winkler grounded out to short, and the moment the final out happened, a quartet of helicopters comes flying over right field as that's fouled down the left field line, 1-1. Well, those helicopters, it looked choreographed. This entire thing looked like the game presentation staff had all this planned out. Well, the fireworks, yes. The flashing lights, yes. But the helicopters, unannounced, on their own, coming from a separate event, thought, hey, let's fly over the baseball stadium and say hi on the 4th of July. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Well, it just so happened, the moment that they were flying over coincided perfectly with the final out, and it turned into this magical finish here at the ballpark. You had fireworks sprouting out of the center field batter's eye. You had the lights flashing all over. A perfect moment where it's not quite completely dark out there in the skies. And just the feeling and the sound in this ballpark was so special as the pitch is low, 2-2. I can't describe it. And the most beautiful part about it is if you were a fan that didn't know any better in the ballpark, you would think, oh, they had it set up that way. If we win, we'll do a flyover on the final out. Well, I've been in game presentation for many years, and obviously know our game presentation staff here, 2-2. It's fouled straight back to the screen. We'll do it again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anybody who's worked in game presentation, you know you can't actually try to set that up. You could never time it out like that. And I have watched flyovers for national anthems, and it's hard enough to do it during a national anthem. You'll always have the flyover somewhere around the finish, maybe a beat late, but to time it just right is oh so hard. Here's the 2-2. Dickey rolls over on it, grounds it to the first baseman Nicholson. He'll take it even with the bag 3 steps. Ground out to first, 1 down, top 3. Chad Wallach to the plate, a 2-run triple back in the first inning. But it was such a beautiful moment because as I'm on the air, I know there's no chance that this was previously put together. I'm envisioning that this group of helicopters is coming from Stadium of Fire. That was my guess, an event that takes place in Provo at the campus of BYU. Pitch up and into Wallach. Look out. Woof. That thing was chin high inside. He was leaning back to get out of the way of it. Take a look at the replay of this. Oh, yikes. A knuckle grazer up by his chin. Comes the 1-0 from Manoah to Chad Wallach. And he puts it high in the air, deep left. Paris going back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Chad Wallach has done it again to his former team. His 2nd home run of the series, his 3rd run batted in today, and a guy who was once a hero around Salt Lake has quickly become a villain during this series. It's 5-0 Las Vegas. Well, it's not like he annihilated this ball. He got under it quite a bit, and the wind pushing out a little bit to left today, although it's died down since the early parts of this game. Just got that ball up in the air, and pure muscle from a kid in Chad Wallach. A solo blast makes it 5-0. Here's Jack Winkler. Takes inside for a ball, 1-0. But back to a moment like that, it was just the way everything came together so perfectly. Each person around the ballpark, from the game presentation staff, the comms department, everyone's looking at each other with complete bewilderment as the 1-0 is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Because nobody could have guessed that wasn't planned. And everyone's looking at one another like, did you know about that? Well, no, I didn't know. There's no way, right? And everybody, our director of game presentation, Brecken Johnson, who is magnificent, just put his hands up like, I don't know how that just happened. 2-0, outside 3-0. Sammy, you were on the field for that. That had to be magical.
Tony, it was incredible. Everyone was looking around at each other. No one knew what to say or do. I saw a lot of just mouths almost to the floor. They're like, is this real life right now? And then, of course, had to ask Ryan in the post-game interview, and he said, yeah, I have no words for it. It was crazy. And then after that, too, the fireworks. I mean, we had so many players bring out their families, wives, girlfriends, their little kids. And I mean, this is my 3rd season with the Bees. I've never seen that big of a group in the dugout. I got chills, Tony. We always say it's a family here, but when you see
Sure.
something like last night, it really reinforces that idea of it's not just a team, it truly is a family with the Bees.
Winkler walks, Halters to the plate, a meeting at the mound right now. Sammy, it was stunned disbelief from all of us. And I'm on the air watching this as the helicopters fly over. But the togetherness of the team, everything together, there's so much work that goes into what happens here at the ballpark. It was almost like they were deserving of a magical moment like that, because I'm telling you, if you gave any professional baseball team 1,000 tries to get a final out flyover right on time, they couldn't do it. You can't try to make it happen like that.
I couldn't agree more. It'll be a night that we will all truly never forget. Amazing.
And I have to remind people as I've posted it and talked about it, like, no, that wasn't on purpose. As the runner goes from first, Winkler, the pitch to Halter, a strike, no throw, head first slide, Winkler safe. But I've had to, some of the fans were, they were speaking very highly of the experience last night. We'll take a look at it once again. Vera throws to first. Okay, the game's over. The lights are going to start flashing. And then Nicholson throws the ball in the stands. And in about 2 seconds, a flyover just comes beautifully over the stadium. That's a hard hit ground ball down the first base line. Nice backhand stop. Nicholson 5 steps to the bag, down by the chalk line in time. Going second to third is Winkler. 2 out runner at third base. I'm trying to think of anything I can remember at a ballpark. I mean, I know the Randy Johnson Bird incident's one that jumps into the mind of everybody, where it's truly like a 1 in a billion, right? And I can't think of any others that I've been around where it's happened just like that. There's Brian Buelvis. Buelvis with a runner at third. 5-0 Las Vegas. Pitch inside a ball. 3 in the first for Las Vegas, 1 in the second, and 1 here in the third. A Chad Wallach solo homer. Standing lead over there at third base by Winkler. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Line to center field. Rada ranging back. Still going back on the run. Over his head. It's going to one-hop the wall. Trotting in from third is Winkler. On his way to second with an RBI double, Brian Buelvis. His 8th two-bagger of the year. It's 6-0 Las Vegas. Well, the 9 spot in the order could be very productive any which way you want to line it up for the first half champion in the PCL this year. Buelvis delivering in a big way. He was 2 for 12 in this series. Before that rip, that's his 2nd double of the week. 6-0 Las Vegas. Key 2-out hit. Looking for another one is Swift. Swift takes or called strike. Swift doubled, walked, stole a base, scored twice. The Bees, the last time, it was a Manoah start against Las Vegas. Las Vegas jumped out to a 6-0 lead. They're up 6-0 again. Let's fly to the right side, fouling out of play, 0-2. And when the Bees trailed 6-0 in game 1, they got it down to 6-5, and then it was 7-5. They got it to 7-6. But Las Vegas, with some big 2-out swings in the late innings, would prevail 10-6 in game 1. Las Vegas leads the series 3-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Drew Swift. Up and in. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Drew Swift has been great with runners in scoring position, hitting .351 on the season. One-two, 55-footer in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher Martinez. Holding at second base is Buelvis. Well, the Aviators today with runners in scoring position, 3 for 9. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 here in the third. Manoah from the stretch. Kicks and deals. And the 2-2 in the dirt, picked by the catcher Martinez. Holding at second, Buelvis. We'll do it at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The wind has almost completely died down now. It was pretty stiff earlier tonight, as it was moving right to left. Crowd trying to get behind Manoah here. 6 for the Aviators, nothing for the Bees. Top of the third. Here comes the 3-2. Swift fouls it off for the catcher Martinez. So it goes off the shin guard. Home plate umpire Raul Moreno issues a new ball. Boy, a lot of great theme nights still left on the season. Make sure to join us here at the ballpark in America First Square. I mentioned Country Weekend, the 17th through the 19th. Boy, the Pioneer Day celebrations are going to be a good time throughout that week. We still have Princess Night coming your way in August. We have a homestand in September. Take a look at this second half of the year. Pick the game you want to come on out for. Pick multiple games. Here's the 3-2. Swift dribbles it foul left side. Can also come see Bumble's friends. We have not just Bumble, but he has Honey. One of the mascots. You have the new mascot Swiggy. It's a good time with all of our additional mascots that are a part of the celebration. Swiggy, of course, is here with the dirty sodas. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Manoah to Swift. Swift, the bouncer, left side foul. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Bees have not lost a home series this year. They're down 3-2 in the series, down 6-0 here in game number 6. And a bluff back to second base. But all the different mascots are fun. Honey is Sammy's favorite mascot. Mine is Daisy, the lovable pup. You have Jensen, who's the dinosaur. Swiggy, of course. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The inning is over, but the lead continued to grow. Chad Wallach with a solo home run. That's his second home run of this series. It's 6-0 Las Vegas. We go to the bottom of the third on Bally Sport. Bottom of the third inning, Aro Vera, Nelson Rada, Yolmer Sanchez, 9-1-2 hitters against Joey Estes. As we're in the Sunday series finale, make sure to join us on Sunday night home games. You can always be a part of the action with the breakfast for dinner package. Make sure to buy it, $48. You get the dinner as well as the game. And what will they be serving for dinner? It is breakfast. We know a lot of families who love that. My in-laws are big fans of breakfast for dinner. Line drive, right field, Aro Vera. First pitch swinging, and he has had a very nice series. Aro Vera with a leadoff single, second knock of the game for the Bees. Salt Lake trailing 6-0 here tonight. Aro Vera coming off a 2-hit night in game number 5. The Bees had 6 players with multiple hits. That's the first time since May 21st against Tacoma that they did that. This offense very capable of doing something like that. Vera with a twisted lead over there at first base. First pitch, Rada fouls it straight back, 0-1. The Bees had 3 home runs last night. Ben Goebel, Ryan Nicholson, Logan Porter. 10th time this year they had at least 3 home runs in a game. They're 9-1 when they hit 3 homers in a game. Pitch to Rada, flied high in the air, center field to the right, and ranging over towards the alley a bit is Marlowe. He'll make the catch. 1 down, holding at first is Aro Vera, 6-0 Las Vegas. Here in the bottom of the third inning.
Number 5.
Those the Bees. Love what they have here with this lineup. So many guys coming through with big swings and big moments. Yolmer Sanchez had a few of those this year. 3 doubles and 2 homers against Las Vegas this season. Left-hand batter ready. And the pitch in there for a strike. A switch hitter batting from the left side, I should say. As in at third is White. Aro Vera over there at first base. Sidestepping to his lead. Creeping out little by little. And the pitch. Sanchez, fly ball right field. Ranging to his right, Dickey the right fielder. Marlowe the center fielder, though, will have the call and the catch. Just to the right of center. Bluffing at first is Vera. And after a leadoff single for Aro Vera, he's still there with 2 outs. And to bring up Ben Goebel. Ben Goebel, a single in the first inning. Increased his hit streak to 13 games. He's played 22 games in a Salt Lake Bees uniform. He has reached in every game. A 27-game on-base streak collectively. Swing and a miss, 0-1. During the hit streak, batting .346, 10 extra base hits, and 13 runs batted in. Coming off back-to-back games with multiple hits. The 0-1. Goebel starts after it, holds up, pitches down and away, and it's a ball and a strike. 6 for the Aviators, nothing for the Bees. 4 extra base hits in this series for Ben Goebel, a double, 3 home runs. Vera at first. Infield shifted to the left. Here's the 1-1. Goebel swings and misses at a pitch upstairs. And it's 1-2. Well, for Joey Estes, his performance has been much better than what he had back on Tuesday night. He's feeling good about that. He's allowed just 2 hits. He's walked 1. He's retired 6 of the last 7 that he has faced. 2 out, Vera at first. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Estes. Line drive, right field, base hit. Holding at second base, Vera. Back-to-back-to-back multi-hit games for Ben Goebel. 2 singles on the night. So first and second, 2 down, and it brings up Jeimer Candelario. Jeimer Candelario walked in the first inning. He's hoping for a big 2-out swing to get the Bees on the board. Bees trail 6-0 in this bottom of the third. Vera at second, Goebel at first. Infield playing back on the right side. First pitch holding up, taking inside, 1-0. Candelario, a .265 hitter with runners in scoring position. 4 for 16 in the series with 3 walks. Well, the Bees have had some big moments with their 2-out hitting all season long. Salt Lake and Las Vegas, 2 of the best 2-out hitting teams in the PCL. Time has been called. And we'll reset. Candelario, great switch hitter, batting from the left side right now. Runners with their leads. Here comes the 1-0. Candy takes, and it's away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Jeimer Candelario, a great leader in that clubhouse. We'll talk about Sanchez and his influence. Candelario, very similar, helping out a lot of the younger players. 2-0 pitch, no. A bluff and a look back to second. And Estes is going to touch up the rosin back. For Jeimer Candelario, so much Major League experience in his career, 11 Major League seasons. And he smokes it down the right field line, foul above the tarp off the netting. We'll do it at 2-1. For Candelario, 5 teams in his career: Cubs, Tigers, Nationals, Reds, and the Angels. 887 Major League games. There's also a guy that had 5 games with the 2016 Chicago Cubs. That's when he made his Major League debut, and the Cubs that year would go on to win the World Series. Here's the 2-1. Candelario bounces it foul off the facing of the camera well, down the first base side. Look at this foul ball, and the youngster ready with the glove. Look at his excitement. I love it when a kiddo comes to the game with a plan. Look where his seat is. And look how big that smile is. Oh, yeah, he's high-fiving more people than somebody who just won on The Price is Right. 2-2. Candelario takes low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's what I love about moments like that. That kid is going to remember this moment forever. He's going to remember where he was sitting, how he timed it out, how he got in position, and made the catch. Count full, 2 out. Runners are going to get a head start. Vera at second, Goebel at first. Candelario rips to right, ranging to his left. Dickey sinking down, he can't get it. It goes to the wall. In to score is Vera. Behind him is Ben Goebel. Rounding second on his way to third, Candelario. There will be no throw. Pop-up slide, and a 2-run triple. Candy coming through with 2. And the Bees on the board. They trail 6-2 here in the third. Well, somebody's got to come through with 2 outs. And earlier it was Ben Goebel to keep the inning alive. Candelario down the right field side. And Dickey just wasn't able to catch up to this one as he was going towards the line. The runners getting a head start. They score with ease. And Candelario gets into third. It's fly down the left field line, foul. Candelario, that is his third triple of the season. He has 26 runs batted in. Well, it's so fun to watch him with the extra base hits. The pitch is inside to Martinez. 1-1. Martinez flied out to center back in the first inning. Well, Candelario, he starts to heat up. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. 1-1 pitch inside, 2 balls and a strike. As Candelario, for a while there, went a long time without a AAA triple, and then he had a double and a triple in the same game. 6th time in his pro career, he had a double and a triple in the same contest. Did that against Albuquerque. That's foul tipped into the glove. 2-2. As he did that with the Tigers August 12, 2021, when they were at Baltimore. Candelario third, 2 out. Here's the 2-2. Martinez takes. Top of the 4th inning, 6-2 Las Vegas. Michael Stefanik, Cade Marlowe, Tommy White. 2-3-4 due up for the Las Vegas Aviators. The Aviators going for the series win. Salt Lake trying to salvage the split. Thanks so much for being with us here tonight. Tony Parks with you in Daybreak. Alma Bean back in our Zone Sports studios. Michael Stefanik, an RBI double in the 2nd inning. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st. So he's reached twice, scored once, and has a run batted in. Stefanik, slightly open stance, right side. Here's Manoah in inning number 4, and the pitch is down, ball 1. Emerson Hancock in the Mariners bullpen extended Seattle's scoreless streak to 24 innings, by the way. Mitch Garver, a 2-run homer and a 4-0 win for the Mariners against the Blue Jays. And so for Hancock, he gave up 2 hits, 2 walks, struck out 5 over 7 innings. It's been a hot stretch of pitching here for Seattle. The pitch to Stefanik is up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. As he followed Logan Gilbert Saturday to become Seattle's first starting pitchers with consecutive outings of 7 shutout frames since Brian Wu and Bryce Miller in 2024. 2-0. At the knees, a strike inside part of the plate, 2-1. So over the weekend, Hancock and Gilbert, they combined for 14 1/3 innings, no runs, 3 hits and 12 Ks. Toronto has had a really tough 2026. Here comes the 2-1. Stefanik takes low, 3 balls and a strike. As Toronto was shut out in consecutive games for the first time this year, they've now won just 2 of their last 10. 6 games under 500. Marlins in a great battle at the A's today. As the pitch at the knees, a strike, 3-2. Yuri Perez, 7 perfect innings before getting lifted by Miami manager Clayton McCullough, and the Marlins nearly squandered an 8-run lead and held on to win 9-8 over the A's. You wouldn't believe it unless you saw it. When you see the score 9-8, figure it was this high-scoring affair, maybe a back-and-forth battle. Not quite. Here comes the 3-2 to Michael Stefanik. Stefanik takes a pitch in the dirt, ball 4. 3rd time of the day, Michael has reached. Leadoff man aboard in the top of the 4th, 6-2 Las Vegas. In the top of the 4th, here is Cade Marlowe. Marlowe walked in the 1st, grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd inning. They shift him to the right, but in at 3rd is Candelario, about even with the bat. Otto Lopez went deep. He leads the majors with a batting average 346, by the way. Wow. His 39 multi-hit games. Check swing, pitches up. Did he go? He did not. 1-0. Those 39 multi-hit games, the most before the All-Star break since Houston's Jose Altuve had 40 back in 2014. Brewers and Diamondbacks, a good one in the desert this afternoon. Runner on the move, the pitch is high, throw to second, low skip here that bounces off the runner Stefanik, goes over to the shortstop area. Stefanik will hold at second. Stefanik now 6 for 7 stealing bases. He's in scoring position, nobody out. 6-2 Las Vegas. Top of the fourth. Jake Bowers homered off of Eduardo Rodriguez in the 7th inning. And Milwaukee, a winner at the Diamondbacks 3-2. That was his team leading 16th home run. Rodriguez named to the All-Star game, though, for the first time in his 12-year career. Popped up foul behind home plate to the left. That's going to get out of play. Perdomo and Carroll, though, hit back-to-back doubles for Arizona's first run. Perdomo's 100th double in his career. 6-2 Las Vegas here tonight in daybreak. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Marlowe. Marlowe lines it down the right field line, hooking foul. We'll do it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cubs and Cardinals this afternoon at Wrigley. Nico Horner drove in 2 runs. Pete Crow Armstrong had 2 hits. Well, this kid already had a ball. Good job, Homer. And now another youngster ends up with a ball. It's well done. Well, yeah, I'm glad that he kept track of who ended up with a ball earlier. Now, I don't know. It's quite possible that young man who already had a ball was going to get that one and give it to somebody else. But Yolmer Sanchez, he keeps track of everything, and there's nothing that gets by that guy. 2-2 the count, 6-2 the score. Las Vegas on top. Top of the fourth. Marlowe swings and misses strike 3. 1 out, 1 on. It'll bring up Tommy White. He's 0 for 2 so far on the day.
Third baseman, number 47.
The Cubs rallied for 4 runs today in the 6th inning. Cardinals defense not on top of their game. And the Cubs won 6-4, avoiding a series sweep. Jordan Walker of the Cardinals hit his 20th home run, 3-run shot in the 6th. And drove in a 4th with a sac fly in the 8th. His RBI total now at 67, tied for the most in the majors. But the Cardinals with 2 big errors in the bottom of the 6th. White, hot shot grounder through the whole left side, base hit. Holding up at third is Stefanik, as he had to hold up on that kind of low skipping liner. What a 1-out single for Tommy White, his 8th hit of the series. He's 1 for 3 today. Runners at the corners, 1 out, 6-2 Las Vegas. Here in the top of the 4th inning. San Francisco at the Rockies today. Kyle Karros hit a 3-run homer. It was in the 8th inning. The Rockies took the lead and went on to win 7-6, 471-footer for Karros. Here comes the first pitch to Jared Dickey. It's at the top of the zone, inside part of the plate, a strike, 0-1. The Rockies now 122 runs in the 8th inning or later this year. The best mark in the majors. They've been a fun team to watch, much improved, and I understand they're 37-54, but let's do remember, that was a team that was abysmal last season. 0-1, low. A ball and a strike. Runners at the corners, 1 out in this top of the 4th inning, with the Bees trailing 6-2. The Detroit Tigers got a win at the Rangers today, 6-3. Riley Green homered again. He also tripled, drove in 4. The pitch. Line straight back behind home plate. We'll do it now at a ball and 2 strikes. Manoah at 78 pitches. Stefanik at third. Tommy White, the runner at first, with 1 out. For the Rangers, that loss drops them even at 45-45. Left-hand batter Dickey reaches the bat back ready. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and an out. And time has been called. Manoah comes set, just above the belt. Holds. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. A broken bat, soft grounder, left side foul. As it kind of sawed off the top of the bat. As it feathered its way down the first base line, it landed in fair territory on the grass. It's a Jared Dickey. He's going to go get a new piece of lumber here. Well, the ball just went left, and it was just foul. And then the piece of the bat that broke off went right, and it landed in fair ground. So they'll put that one on the fireplace. Get another bat here for Jared Dickey. Jared Dickey hitting .326 with runners in scoring position this year. Good start to this game for the Aviators. They lead the Bees 6-2. We're in the top of the fourth inning. The Aviators today 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. So a new bat for Jared Dickey. He steps in, taps the plate twice, holds the bat in front of his face, whips it around a couple of times, reaches the bat back ready. Manoah corner eyes the runner at first. Long hold. Knee up, foot down, fires. And Dickey goes down to get it, pops it up right towards my window. And just to the left, out of play. It was out of reach. It's too far. And it was terrible. It was just to the left. It hit this window over here. I would have had to reach around. It would have been a Gold Glove play, but these, I got the T-Rex arms without the T-Rex height. We'll put it that way. Yeah, it was too far. That's not an error. But it's a play I wish I could have made. I'm always ready. I'm on my toes. And I'm waiting for that day it makes it through this window. I thought it was coming. My hands were in place. And it went just wide. Runners at the corners, one out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Line drive down the left field side. That's fouling out of play. Las Vegas with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And threatening again here in the fourth. Stefanik led off the inning with a walk and a stolen base. Tommy White singled him over to third. Jared Dickey is going to try to bring him in. Here comes the 1-2. Softly grounded, first base side and foul. We'll do it again, a ball and 2 strikes. Salvi Perez drove in 2. And it was Kansas City snapping a 4-game losing streak with a 5-2 win over the Phillies today. Avila held the Phillies down to just 1 run in 5 innings. He had 4 Ks and a walk. The pitch. Fly ball down the left field side. That is going to twist foul it out of play. This battle just continues on. This has been a long back and forth battle here between Alec Manoah and Jared Dickey. Now, the number of pitches is one thing. The amount of time is an entirely different story. We've had all these long foul balls. We've had a broken bat. Feels like the Shadows have just covered a lot of ground since then. 1-2. Hard hit ground ball through the hole right side, a base hit. Walking in from third is Stefanik. Holding at second base, Tommy White. Jared Dickey wins the battle, an RBI single. And it's now 7-2 Aviators in the top of the fourth. He had to foul off a ton of pitches. He had to get a new bat. And eventually punches it through the hole on the right side to bring in another run. The last pitch thrown by Manoah tonight. And with runners at first and second, he's still responsible for those runners. I'll tell you more about Justin Dunn when we come back. He's on now for Manoah. 7-2 Las Vegas, top of the fourth. You're on Bally Sports.
Justin Dunn.
Top of the fourth inning, 7-2. Las Vegas leads over Salt Lake. Justin Dunn is on now for the Salt Lake Bees. Dunn, who had an inning of work the other night against the Las Vegas Aviators, 1 inning. And in that 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run. That 1 hit was from Chad Wallach, and it was a solo homer in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Wallach. Misses away for ball number 1. Wallach, a 2-run triple back of the first inning, a solo homer in the 3rd inning. Justin Dunn from the stretch. White at second, Dickey at first. Here comes the pitch, and it's low. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. Justin Dunn on the year, 1-4. 20th appearance, 30 innings, 36 hits, 27 runs, 20 earned. Opponents hitting .300 against him so far this year, 20 walks and 26 Ks. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Wallach takes up and in, it clipped him. A hit by pitch, and he'll be on now for the 3rd time of the game. So Wallach at first, Dickey at second, White is at 3rd. For more on White, here's Sammy Miller.
Tony, the baseball world is filled with countless great nicknames, but Tommy Tanks, Tommy White's nickname, is pretty iconic, which he received back in February of 2022 following an incredible start to his collegiate career at NC State. The meaning is fairly self-explanatory. His name is Tommy, and he hits lots and lots of tanks. Tony, I was about to say Tony, because you hit lots and lots of tanks. I know you won't admit it, but back in your days.
That was a totally different thing. He tanks it, meaning he just completely buries any chance we had of winning. But yes, I had a similar name.
But Tony, it was so incredible because when he decided to transfer to LSU, he turned the nickname into a vehicle for helping out his new city. So he started the Tiny Tanks initiative, where he donated a portion of his NIL money to charity in order to help the kids of the Baton Rouge community. So such a special way to turn a nickname into a way to give back to the community.
That's what he's been. He was a fan favorite down there, and all he did was help them win the College World Series as well, right?
No big deal.
I mean, he did it all. He checked all the boxes. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch is cut on a miss from Jack Winkler. 2 balls and a strike. Tommy White, who was the first pick of the 2nd round by the A's in 2024. He was in that Futures game last year at Truist Park. Sammy, I know you were out there for that and all the All-Star Game festivities in Atlanta a season ago. Bases loaded, 2-1 the count, 1 down, 7-2 Las Vegas. And it's popped up behind home plate, hits off the screen, bounces back into foul ground. We'll do it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, and Tommy Tanks, well, he really earned that nickname too. He finished 8th all-time in D1 history with 75 homers. He was the 4th player to ever get that number in just 3 seasons. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Winkler starts after it, down and away. He didn't go, and the count is full. Yeah, so he did everything with LSU, the NIL money that he donated back for a great cause. He helped the Tigers win the College World Series, and when he was at NC State, he was the freshman of the year in the ACC. Now he's at 3rd base. His team is up 7-2. Count full, so are the bases. The pitch is up and in, ball 4. Jack Winkler reaches with a walk. Everybody goes 90 feet. It's now 8-2 Aviators in the top of the 4th inning. Well, tough beginning to this outing for Justin Dunn as he nipped Chad Wallach and then battled with Jack Winkler and allowed the walk to push in a run. That run is charged to Manoah. His line is still not finished. He's responsible for Dickey now at 3rd base. 1 out, bases loaded. Halter takes away for a ball. Halter, with the bases loaded this year, is 0 for 3. I mentioned this before. He has struggled with runners in scoring position. Coming into tonight, he was 0 for 19. Big chance for him here. 1-0. Halter takes a called strike, 1-1. Loved Sammy's report on Tommy White, just everything that he did for his team, and get character guys on your team, and it's going to make a really big difference. And everywhere he goes, Tommy White has positively impacted an organization. Justin Dunn, battling in this top of the fourth, the 1-1. Off the handle, fouled back my way, and this time it was over by Russ Langer, the broadcaster of the Las Vegas Aviators. Too far for him, and that lucky fan comes away with the souvenir. It's 8-2 Las Vegas. Now, Russ Langer, and I always say this, he doesn't flinch, but he didn't get up. He knew it wasn't coming to him. He just sat right there and watched it hit the window. 1-2. It's grounded, first base side foul. Now, when the ball was coming my way, I mean, I was up, I was reaching, I was lunging, I was hoping I could get it. Russ Langer over there, you see him just working away. Future Hall of Famer, 12-time Sportscaster of the Year in the state of Nevada, and legendary broadcaster in the history of this league. A guy that was very close with Steve Klauke in the years that he was the broadcaster here. The pitch is inside. The count's 2-2, but Russ was just working away. I turned and I looked over at him, and he's just, you know, he's into his laptop. He's got his score sheet, and he is just getting after it with the broadcast. He did not flinch. It hit the bottom part of that window that's just above him. He just knew. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, 2 down. 8-2 Las Vegas. Move to the 9-hole hitter, Brian Buelvas. Buelvas had an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. Bases loaded, 2 down now. The Bees took a 6-run deficit, got it down to 4, but a 2 spot here in this 4th. And it's a 6-run game again. Comes the first pitch. Buelvas takes off speed and over for a strike, 0-1. Buelvas, a .273 hitter with runners in scoring position, and with the bases loaded, he's 1 for 5 this year. Runners with their leads. From the stretch, done. Exhales from the chest, the 0-1. Popped up down the right side, fouling out of play. We'll do it at 0-2. Well, these two teams, with all of their regular season games in the books before the All-Star break. It has not happened in the years that I've been calling the games. It's a strange thing with Las Vegas and Salt Lake to be done this early. 0-2. Outside, nice stop by Martinez. He had to lunge away to nab that, keep it from going to the backstop. Dickey is at 3rd, Wallach is at 2nd, Winkler is at 1st. Buelvas is in the box. 2 out, the count is 1-2. Las Vegas 8, Salt Lake 2 on this Sunday evening. As the Shadows have just about taken over the entire infield. Here comes that 1-2 pitch. Buelvas puts it in the air high, center field. Rada statues for a moment, blocking the sun. A step back, a few steps in, he'll make the catch. The inning. Welcome back to the ballpark in America First Square. Bottom of the 4th, 8-2. Las Vegas leads over Salt Lake. Busy day in the bigs, including the Houston Astros, who won 2-0 today. And the Astros in a close one, a tight one all the way to the finish. They beat the Rays 2-0 in a great battle with the Rays fighting towards the top of the AL East. Christian Walker with a home run. Isaac Paredes also hit a home run. 4 pitchers combined on a 4-hit shutout. And the Astros beat the Rays 2-0. This is the 20th home run of the year for Walker. Swing and a miss. Kyron Paris, who leads off this bottom of the 4th. Joey Estes out there for his 4th inning work. He's at 58 pitches right now. Gave up a 2 spot in the 3rd inning. But it's Las Vegas leading by 6 as the pitch is low. A ball and a strike. It's been weird watching the Astros this year. Some of the teams in the West overall that I think coming into the year, you expect them to have a better season. 1-1. It's fouled back behind home plate, 1-2. Houston's one of those teams. They're now 45-47. They're 2 games below 500. It's going to be a continuous battle at the top of the East as the Rays still with a 4-game lead. And one of the reasons still lead by 4 games is because the Yankees have been scuffling as the Twins beat the Bombers again today 6-1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. from Estes to Paris. Kyron fouls it high behind home plate over everything. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Joe Ryan scattered 3 hits, 7 scoreless innings. The Twins kept things quiet at Yankee Stadium. They won a series at Yankee Stadium for the first time since 2014. Paris launches left field deep, ranging over to his the right and back is going to be Buelvis. He'll make the catch at the warning track and parachute into the fence for out number 1. By the way, Buelvis was going back on it initially. I thought this was about to go over his head, but he recovered at the last moment with a couple of speedy steps. Look at that, she was watching this in her phone. Thought something big might be happening. All right, you can delete that one. Start a new video. Here's Nicholson. The pitch is low, ball 1. A nice job by Buelvis tracking that down at the last moment. Nicholson, a 6-game hit streak. He has an RBI in 3 straight games. 1 out, nobody on. 8-2 Las Vegas, bottom of the 4th. Here comes the 1-0. Down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. The Twins outscored the Yankees, by the way, 17-5 in those final 2 games. That was after going 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position Friday. And look at this. The Yankees, 9 losses in their last 10 games. Here comes the 2-0. Nicholson arms up as the pitch is down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, it's hard to believe how bad they've been. And for Ryan, we talked about that. Season high 9 strikeouts. It's in there for a strike. 3-1. He became the first Twins pitcher to pitch at least 7 scoreless innings for Minnesota at Yankee Stadium since Johan Santana on July 27th of 2005. That's bounced foul right side off the tarp. We'll do it at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the Twins with a great trip to the Bronx, and the Yankees trying to find their footing as they're struggling towards the All-Star break. Count full, 1 out, the pitch. Nicholson dribbles it up the first base side, foul. As it rolls onto the grass about 20 feet away from home plate. Colson Montgomery, a 2-run homer. Kyle Teal and Tristan Peters added solo shots. The White Sox beat the Guardians again. They split that 4-gamer, and what a great series that was. I'd love to see those 2 teams in a 7-gamer somehow. Because how evenly matched they are. 3-2. Nicholson takes outside, ball 4. 1 out walk. Nicholson is on, and it brings up Zach Humphreys. He popped up and foul ground to the first baseman Halter back in the 2nd inning. And all of a sudden, the White Sox now back into first place by a game. It just was a really fun series, including the Guardians walking off games 1 and 2, and then the White Sox winning a couple of close games. As Humphreys lines it out to left center, Buelvis backpedaling and makes the catch in the alley for out number 2. Buelvis with his 2nd catch of the inning, 2 out. Nicholson at first, 8-2 Las Vegas. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brings up Arl Vera. Well, the Reds nipped the Orioles 3-2. Spencer Steer broke up a scoreless game with his 14th home run this season. Nick Lodolo pitched 6 scoreless innings. Swing and a miss, Vera. Vera, who singled back in the 3rd inning and scored. The Bees played at 2 in the 3rd. And they cut the deficit to 6-2, but now they're back down 8-2 after a 2 spot in the top of the 4th from Las Vegas. The 0-1. Vera, hard hit, ground ball, right side, diving stop. Stefanik from the grass on a knee, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. Now the former Salt Lake Bee, he's hurt the Bees with his bat. I hurt him with the glove. Great play to end the inning. Top of the 5th inning, Bees trail 8-2 to the Las Vegas Aviators. Out there on the mound, Justin Dunn for his 2nd inning of work. Faces the top of the order, True Swift, Michael Stefanik, Cade Marlowe. For more on the game tonight, let's go to Sammy Miller.
Tony, it's still 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
So here I have a Freedom Bar. So it's a Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie treat. Can't say I've ever tried this before. But, one bite, everyone knows the rules.
Well, Rice Krispie treats are always good. Fruity Pebbles are good. First pitch a ball to Drew Swift. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. He scored twice. He's doubled. Sammy devouring the Rice Krispie treat with the Fruity Pebbles. Here comes the 1-0. Swift takes it to the knees, a strike. All right, now, were you a Cocoa Pebbles or a Fruity Pebbles fan?
Okay. I was a Fruity Pebbles fan.
All right.
The smell is incredible. It's
Yes.
so fruity smelling. Duh, because it's Fruity Pebbles. I'm gonna go an 8-8. How about
8-8?
that?
A
Now,
high 8?
my mom's Rice Krispie treats, Tony, that's a 10 out of 10.
1-1
This
is
ain't
fouled
Mama
back.
Eyes,
Okay, now
Rice
I know
Krispie treat.
you are definitely a stickler with your pastas, right? That's for sure. I feel like your desserts, you're kind of strict on your judgments to it as well, right? It feels like that's kind of something
yeah.
you get very particular about. And I've talked with you off the air about different desserts and different things, and you're like, okay, I like this, but I don't like this. I'm like, okay, all right. Down to the flakes on the breading, as this is fouled back 1 and 2. What do you like most about? I mean, obviously flavor and all that, but texture. Take me through the Sammy investigation on this thing.
Okay, so when you were talking about texture, the first thing that comes to mind is like a molten lava cake, okay?
Yes.
Tony, close your eyes, take it in. It's ooey, it's gooey, maybe some vanilla ice cream on top. But then you take the fork and you have to see if the lava like spurts out. If the
Yes.
lava doesn't spurt out, horrible molten lava cake. So I'm very passionate about this subject, if you couldn't tell, because I've had molten lava cakes before, and then there's no chocolate that comes out. I'm like, take it back. I don't actually do that, Tony. Don't worry. But in my head, I'm like, take it back. It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
It is awkward as the 1-2's cut on and missed. It is awkward how similar you and my mom are with stuff like this. Because my mom would say something like, well, what's the point of lava if it doesn't actually spill out? That's what lava does. So,
Thank
yes.
you.
If
That's why I
but
love
the
your mother.
the way you had the mild rant about it, you weren't angry or anything, just you're into it, right?
Passionate,
it matters.
Tony.
Yes.
Passionate, not angry, passionate.
Don't
Big difference.
mistake. Yes, huge difference. Trust me, because I've seen my mom with one and the other, and I can tell you, I like it when she's passionate. The angry part was when I was referred to as Anthony. Drew Swift was struck out. Michael Stefanik now at the plate. Yeah, no, anytime I heard the name Anthony, that was bad news.
I was
folks.
Samantha. If I heard a Samantha Helen Miller, I was like, oh no, Sammy's in trouble.
Oh, yes. Here's the 1-0. Now, is that your mom who would call you that? Because I feel like your dad, and I'm not just trying to guess on this one, I feel like he was ultimate girl dad, and it was hard for him to probably be mad at you for anything.
Oh, 100%. My brothers would get so mad. They're like, come on, Sam's doing this, Sam's doing that. And he's like, no, she's my little girl. She's my princess. She can do no wrong. So definitely would come from the mom. But my mom's also Cinderella, too. So I was just, the perfect child, Tony.
Oh, yeah, you had it good. And all the different stuff like that. Now, where, in terms of being picky, where did that come from? Because you have coaches all in your family.
Yeah.
You have all that. Here's the 3-0. Stefanik takes a strike.
Tony, I wish I wasn't as picky as I am. I hate to, be a picky eater. I think it's just growing up. My mom was like, yeah, we can take this off. Oh, we can do this. So I hate to say it, but I do blame my mom on that one.
Here comes the 3-1. Stefanik takes low ball 4. 1 on, 1 out, 8-2 Las Vegas. Cade Marlowe coming to the plate. No, it's fun watching you with Snacking with Sammy, right? You give very great reviews on, just different food items, stuff that you bring, but also the stuff that's around here at the ballpark. And you have your go-tos, so fans, when you come on out, you can trust the Snacking with Sammy ratings, because it's not like you're out there just trying to give positive reviews. You're very honest about it. Here's Marlowe, first pitch, takes a ball. And you told me from the beginning, look, I'm going to call it like it is. I'm not going to tell a fan that they should run to the concessions if you're not going to give it a 5-star rating.
Oh, Tony, it's hard-nosed journalism around here. I take this job very seriously.
It's been fun to watch that throughout the year. Throw over to first and back in, standing up as Stefanik. Do you have any routines? Like as an MC, I usually do ice cream on Sunday. Steve Klauke used to always do a pretzel before the game.
Ooh.
And one time I took a picture of him as the 1-0 was high, and I took a picture of him standing in a beer cart, and it looked like he was ordering a beer, but he was getting a pretzel.
It's incredible.
Yeah, he laughed at that. But what are your go-tos here routinely throughout the night because this is now your second year at this ballpark. You know all the concessions. The pitch is down and in 3-0.
Now, usually I don't do too much before the game because I'm having to try all these foods, so I have to make sure that my stomach is pretty empty. But one of my go-tos is before the series starts, so let's say Monday night, I will pick my candy selection of the week. So it's usually something sour, and that will be in my work bag. And so everyone knows that if they need a little pick-me-up, to head into Sammy's bag, and there will be some sour candy. So I would say usually that is my go-to, as I'm one of the moms in the dugout. If anyone needs anything, it'll be my Mary Poppins bag.
Oh, I get it. Back-to-back walks. Runners at first and second, 1 out, 8-2, Las Vegas on top. I used to really love the cheesesteak back at Smith's Ballpark. I used to try to get that once a homestand. I thought that was like an underrated item. You go to the ballpark, you have your go-tos. That is one thing I haven't been able to do yet. I mean, we've been so busy with, the TV broadcast, putting stuff together here upstairs. I haven't been able to really get into the concessions here at the ballpark, but certainly want to do so. It's Tommy White is now at the plate, meeting at the mound. Stefanik at second. Cade Marlowe is at first base. He's down 8-2. Hoping to salvage a split. They're going to need a big rally here tonight in the series finale. Well, Tommy White, Sammy had a great story on him earlier tonight. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. 2 on, 1 out. Justin Dunn from the stretch fires, and it's fouled back behind home plate. And it's 0-1. Tommy White, 8 hits in this series, including a double and a home run. But Tommy White, the number 7 prospect in the A's organization at the end of last season. Here's the 0-1. White fouls it straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, Justin Dunn has been a great story so far this season with the Bees. It really was a rough beginning for him, but it was so impressive how positive he was, how focused and how confident he was that things would be positive for him the rest of the way, as that's cut on a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning here for Dunn. Third of his outing. 2 out, 2 on. Top of the 5th. Bees down 8-2. But Sammy Miller had a couple of really nice interviews with him, and he was so humble, so hungry, so honest, but he wasn't beating himself up. As his first start, he allowed 3 earned. He walked a couple. He didn't last an inning. He took the loss. Then just piece by piece kept getting better. Here's the first pitch to Jared Dickey. Swings and misses 0-1. Stefanik at second. Marlowe at first. 2 out, top 5. He was 0-3. A lot of crooked numbers in short outings. And since then, he has been much better. It's Justin Dunn, especially after those first 6 performances in a Bees uniform. Here's the 0-1. Dickey fouls it behind home plate to the left, and it's 0-2. Justin Dunn told me, especially after all those injuries in the previous few years, it's one thing to get back, physically be healthy, but then mentally feel like everything is moving and working as one, and just getting back to the best version of yourself. But one thing he said is gratitude really helped him in the process of having results go sour, but for him to stay focused on what the victories were. 0-2. Check swing in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher Martinez. He did not go on the swing. And there for a moment, hung up between first and second, was Marlowe, but he'll hold it first, and Stefanik goes to third. And it counts 1-2. It'll be ruled as a pass ball. Runners with their leads. 2 down, top 5. Marlowe bluffed it first. That's popped up behind home plate, foul and out of play. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. But I love the attitude of Justin Dunn. They have now changed that to a wild pitch that moves Stefanik second to third. I'd agree with that. Infield shifted right. Well off the bag at third, Candelario. 3/4 depth. The pitch. Line drive down the right field line. Hooking. Foul towards the angled seats. And that's where a fine play has been made over there by a fan. Well, there's been a lot of traffic. It's been Souvenir City down that way. Look at that. Runs up the stairs. Look what I found. And look at that. He's acting like it was a routine play. And he made it look like a routine play. Wait, down that way, people knew the plan. That's where all the souvenirs have been. 1-2 the count, 2 down, top 5, runners at the corners, on the move Marlowe. The pitch, flied out to left field. Going back on it is Paris, slows down, makes the catch 10 feet in front of the track. And the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. We're halfway through the scheduled 9-rounder.
Leading off for your Salt Lake Bees, center field, number 3, Nelson Rada.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 8-2. Salt Lake trails Las Vegas tonight. Top of the order, Nelson Rada. 0 for 2 on the night. Is going to lead it off. First pitch takes outside ball 1. Yomer Sanchez on deck. Ben Goebel is in the hole. It has been all Las Vegas so far this evening. Here at the ballpark in America First Square. 1-0. Nibbles down, 2 balls and no strikes. Nelson Rada had a multi-hit performance last night, including his 4th double of the year. Rada has had great production on Sundays this year. Smokes a line drive into center field, a base hit. Nelson Rada. A leadoff single in the bottom of the 5th against Joey Estes, who's out there for his 5th inning of work. Bring up Yomer Sanchez. He's 0 for 2. Sanchez, who had a hot shot liner right to the shortstop Swift and then flied out to center field. Yomer has batted .348 at home on Sundays, .366 on Sundays overall. Sanchez line drive right field, base hit. Holding at second is Nelson Rada. As Rada had to hold up just a bit on that line drive, so the table is set for the Bees in the bottom of the 5th. They trail 8-2. Still plenty of time left in this game. I should say plenty of outs to work with. It's not a time game, but it's one of those where the Bees get a couple of guys on, get some big bats in the lineup with some big swings. And this guy has had plenty of those. Ben Goebel. 2 hits already today. It's just another night at the office for him. First pitch. Goebel fouls it back behind home plate. Goebel, a home run yesterday. Mentioned his hit streak now at 13 games. 3 games in a row with multiple hits. He's had a couple of knocks today. How about we order a big fly here in the bottom of the 5th? Here's the 0-1. Goebel takes another strike, 0-2. Yomer Sanchez over there at first, always having a good time with whoever's over there. It's not just great for his own team, he's great for the game overall. He has a wide receiver stance over there at first base. Nobody has more fun than that guy. I can promise you that. Here's the 0-2. Goebel lifts it high. Deep left field. Walvis going back, and Ben Goebel is on fire. Another home run. A 3-run blast in the bottom of the 5th. His 4th long ball of the series. Salt Lake has cut the deficit in half. It's 8-5. 3 for 3 today. Ben Goebel continues to find a way to not just to be productive, but be explosive. Has got the barrel on it, launched it over the left field wall, and it was headed for the street. So the first 3 reach, the first 3 score, and this game has changed. It's 8-5. Here's Candelario. Outside for a ball, 1-0. Well, he is on some kind of tear. It's his 5th extra base hit of the series. That's in there for a strike. As I mentioned before, 4 home runs, 10 hits during the week. He's a prime candidate for Player of the Week in the Pacific Coast League. Sure, there's other great performances across the league, but that's a candidate right there, no doubt. Pitch up and away. 2 balls and a strike. Well, he has made his presence felt during the series. Well, he's done it to all fields. I mean, not just right field, but dead right. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, his opposite field hitting has been on point. Hits well to the alleys. You know, tonight, opposite field single. I mean, he just continues to play well. Here's the 2-2. That's low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two, cut on a miss, strike 3. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Candelario, who had a 2-run triple in the 3rd. He's now 1 for 2 on the day. He's reached twice. It brings up Omar Martinez. Martinez flied out to center and struck out in the 3rd inning. Takes outside 1-0. 8-5 Las Vegas, bottom of the 5th inning. The Bees trailed 6-0. They trailed 8-2. Here's the 1-0. Martinez takes up. 2 balls and no strikes. Huascar Ynoa getting loose in the Bees bullpen right now. Activity in Las Vegas's bullpen as well. Here's the 2-0. Martinez pops it up foul down the left field side. Two-one the count, 8-5 the score. Omar Martinez, left-hand batter ready, and he takes outside on pitch number 89.
The call was ball. The catcher is challenging.
Well, the catcher Wallach thought that hit the zone, and the review said it was just downstairs. Nice call, Raul Moreno.
Call is confirmed.
By that much,
That figure has 1
0.2
challenge
inches.
remaining.
Here comes the 3-1. Martinez watches outside, ball for the 4th hitter to reach in this 5th inning. Decision time now for the Las Vegas Aviators. Wallach with the slow walk out to the mound. And the acting manager, Tim Esper, is headed to the mound as well. Joey Estes had a pretty good beginning to this. And all of a sudden, the Bees got 2 in the 3rd after he pitched a scoreless 4th. Now a 3 spot here in the 5th inning. My apologies, that was Paul Abbott, the pitching coach of the Aviators. And so 1 out, runner at first, 8-5 Las Vegas, bottom of the 5th inning. Kyron Paris has had a tough series. He is 1 for 17. That one was a home run. And the pitch is up. 1 ball and no strikes. It'd be great to see Paris have a big swing and a big moment in the late innings in the late part of this series. The Bees trailed by 6. Now they're down by 3. Martinez at first, 1 out. The 1-0. Paris, a vicious cut, but he came up empty. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Paris swings and misses at a pitch upstairs, 1-2. Kyron Paris reached base multiple times, stole a base and scored twice last night. And this guy has had a huge impact on the Bees back in 24 and in 25. He had a great start to his time with the Bees, a ton of walks, a ton of games where he reached multiple times. He's just putting it all together offensively. Here's the 1-2, and it's up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had some hard hit balls that have been right at people. Paris taps the plate a couple of times, reaches the bat back ready. 8 for Las Vegas, 5 for Salt Lake. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out. The 2-2. Paris takes. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch outside. Over there at first base is Omar Martinez. Rada singled, Sanchez singled, Ben Goebel a 3-run blast. That's why it's now a 3-run game. 3-2, Paris takes inside corner, called strike 3. What a spot by Joey Estes. And a big punch out. Estes is now at 96 pitches. Infield shifted right. And now that'll be it for Estes. Still responsible for Martinez at first. He's down 8-5. We'll tell you about the new Aviators pitcher when we come back. All night, but they're starting to battle back from behind as it's now 8-5. Las Vegas on top. Martinez at first, and the new pitcher for the Las Vegas Aviators. They now give the ball to C.D. Pelham. Pelham, 6'6" left-hander from Lancaster, South Carolina. Pitched earlier in this series. This has been a fun back-and-forth series. The big one was that game number 4, where Las Vegas was able to come from behind and steal that game. And still in that game, they led 3-1. Right now, they lead 3-2. Ryan Nicholson, left-hand batter against the lefty Pelham. First pitch, Nicholson takes a strike, 0-1. Pelham 1 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned when he faced the Bees, and that Las Vegas 8-4 win in Game 3 of the series. This is Game 6 tonight. Pelham the 0-1. Nicholson tied up as he check swings around, 0-2. Martinez still at first after the 1-out walk. We have 2 outs right now in this bottom of the 5th. Salt Lake with 3 in the bag on that home run from Ben Goebel. Goebel's 5th with the Bees and his 4th during this week. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Top of the 6th inning, Salt Lake down by the score of 8-5. The new pitcher on for the Salt Lake Bees, it is Huascar Ynoa. And Ynoa, guy who comes on as the 3rd pitcher employed tonight for the Bees. He takes over for Justin Dunn. Justin Dunn, who ran into some trouble in that 5th inning, but was able to work out of it. Dunn's final line, 1 2/3, no runs, no hits, and walked 3, but struck out 3, and made sure to keep Las Vegas scoreless in that 5th inning. We're now in the 6th. Bees with the 3 spot in that 5th have made it 8-5. Huascar Ynoa is going to face the former Salt Lake Bee Chad Wallach. Wallach has reached 3 times tonight. A 2-run triple, a solo homer, and he's been hit by a pitch. And right away, a meeting at the mound as Martinez goes out there to talk with Huascar Ynoa. And Huascar Ynoa, guy that has continued to battle day in and day out. He's been used, there's a starter at different times and also coming out of the pen. Went 4 1/3 in that game the other night. It was a great stretch of pitching as he came in a tough situation. He took over in the second inning, and then he would allow just 4 hits, no earned runs, didn't walk anybody at all. That was a very important performance in his involvement. So he continues to work day in and day out. The Bees would fall by the final score of 8-4, but Huascar Ynoa quietly had what was a really nice performance. Here comes the first pitch to Chad Wallach. Ynoa from the stretch fires, and it's fouled high to the right side and out of play. Chad Wallach, a loved member in the Angels organization. Obviously, it was so much fun to have him here with the Salt Lake Bees. Wallach spent parts of the last 5 years in a Bees uniform, 8 different seasons in the Bigs, including his late season call-up to the Halos last year. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Ynoa to Wallach. And Wallach takes a strike. It's 0-2. He joined the Bees in Las Vegas, of all places, last year. He was with Round Rock. They had a series right here. Right after that series, he joined the Bees. He was in Las Vegas, carried out the rest of the year. He had 6 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs in 39 games with Salt Lake. A low skipping liner off the third baseman Candelario. Couldn't find it. And Chad Wallach is aboard now for the 4th time today. That was a tough play. Oh, that was on a really short hop. Tried to pick it. And then you could see him trying to figure out where the ball was after it bounced off of his glove. So Wallach at first. Here's Jack Winkler. 3 walks today. Scored once, also brought in a run. Right-hand batter Winkler. Winkler takes up and away for a ball. They're ruling that E5 on Candelario. Well, the 4th of July celebration continues. Some of the fans still with their red, white, and blue. All out tonight. The 1-0. Down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. That was always the tough one. Is, you know, the 4th of July was a blast. You always wanted the next day off. It's perfect when it lands on a Friday or Saturday. Enjoy the 4th of July celebration, and then you have a little more time to wind down and get ready for the week. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Winkler dribbles it back to the pitcher, Ynoa. He throws to second for 1. Goebel on to first, not in time to get the lead man. So 1-4 on the putout. Colby Halter now comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the night. That was just a soft bouncer back to Ynoa. Ynoa does a nice job on that. It wasn't hit to him in a hurry. He had to play it on a really slow short hop. And I actually like the way that Ynoa took his time and made a good throw to second base to make sure they get the lead man. Because if he rushes, they're probably still not going to get 2, but it may lead to a miscue of some sort. It was well played. Here's Halter. Fly ball out to left center field. Range it to his right. Rada coming over left. Paris slides down. It pops in and out of his glove and drops down in front of him. He chases it down and throws it in. Holding at second is Winkler. It is a single for Colby Halter. 1 out, 2 on. 8-5 Las Vegas. We're in the top of the 6th. One long run there for Paris. He had it snow coned there for a bit, and it popped out as he was trying to finish the snag. So Winkler at second, Halter at first. Buelvis 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Runners walk into their leads. The pitch. Buelvis takes at the top of the zone a strike, 0-1. Buelvis, a .273 hitter with runners in scoring position. Right-hand batter reaches the bat back ready. Here comes the pitch. Flying high to the right side, now to play, 0-2. Well, we mentioned how much fun it's been with everything happening in the bigs tonight. Some more games have gone final. Mets beat the Braves 10-9. Angels and Red Sox in the late game tonight, 0-2. Softly grounded left side foul. Do it again, no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second, 8-5, Las Vegas. As right now, the Angels up 3-2 over the Red Sox. Adele with an RBI single, Neto with an RBI double. That game in the top of the third. The 0-2 at the end of the bat foul. I can't believe he got to that. That pitch was well outside, and Buelvis, just with a boat oar, was able to reach out there and get a piece of that. Oh, way to stay alive, Brian Buelvis. He doubled last night. He's doubled tonight. He has 2 on with 1 out right now. Here's the 0-2 from Inoa. Buelvis lines it out to left field. Coming on as Paris has to play it on a bounce. The windmill is on for Winkler. He rounds third coming home. Throw towards the plate on 2 bounces, and in safely is Jack Winkler. It's an RBI single for Brian Buelvis. His second ribby of the night. It's 9-5 Las Vegas in the top of the 6th. Holding at second was Halter. And I was curious if they would send him due to the fact that that ball was lined out to left and Paris was coming on, but a nice send. Winkler helps put Las Vegas back up by 4 after the Bees cut what was once a 6-run deficit down to 3. Drew Swift, right-hand batter at the plate. First and second, 1 out. Swift lines it high down the right field side. It's going to slice foul and out of play. And it's 0-1. Padres lead at the Dodgers 5-2. That game is in the top of the 9th. From the stretch, Inoa. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swift flies it down the right side again. Slicing foul and out of play. And it's 0-2. Well, Drew Swift tonight reached on a double and a walk, both in the first and the second, and then would score both times. Struck out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Here he is in the 6th. Runners with their leads at first and second. Long hold Inoa, kicks, steals, check swing. Did he go? He did not. And I believe Martinez has challenged the check swing. The announcement from Raul Moreno.
The catcher is challenging the call of no swing.
So everyone looks at the video board and the bat winds its way towards the dotted line. It did not get there, no swing. It's interesting now.
Call is confirmed.
Because that check swing you would see called a swing often in the previous era. But in the ACS era, that is not a swing anymore. And we've watched umpires now make the adjustment on what they used to call a swing. And now they no longer call that. Here's the 1-2. Swift fouls that down the right field line and out of play. I noticed it right away when the ACS was involved in Oklahoma City. I was there May 5th, the first night that it was in place. And in that series, it was Nico Cavadas, the first player to challenge a check swing. And with the way he flashed the barrel and the way they said he swung, it was a normal thing that would not be argued in a previous era. 1-2, slowly dribbled left side of the infield. Long run for Candelario, bare hands, throws to first, not in time. He had no chance. Infield single, Drew Swift. That was just perfectly placed with the right speed to get by the left side of the mound. Candelario, the third baseman, had to race over to get it. And even with a nice bare hand grab and a strong throw, Swift was able to get there without a problem. 9-5 Las Vegas, top of the 6th inning. 1 out, bases full. Here's Michael Stefanik. Slightly open stance right side. First pitch. Stefanik bounces it towards the middle. Second baseman Goebel has it from the bag. Throws to first in time. 1 pitch. Beautifully done there at second. Ben Goebel. Well, he's done everything with a bat. He's doing it with the glove. A very friendly soft bouncer And an easy play for Goebel. 4-3 the Twin killing, 9-5 the score. Bottom of the 6th inning, Salt Lake trailing 9-5 against the Las Vegas Aviators tonight. Make sure to join us when the Bees are back at home for Country Weekend, coming up right after the All-Star break. It'll be July 17th through the 19th, the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, the great music, the great outfits. Make sure your boots are ready, put that hat on, come on out, listen to some George Strait, some Alan Jackson, some of my favorites. Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Reba McEntire, Garth Brooks, you name it, we're going to have it right here at the ballpark at America First Square. Country Weekend is going to be a blast. Zach Humphreys is leading off the bottom of the 6th. He loves country music. Proud Texan. C.D. Pelham is out there for his 2nd inning of work. First pitch on the outside corner, a strike. Pelham, who struck out Nicholson to end the 5th inning. The Bees put up a 3-spot. They trailed by 3, now they're down by 4. It's 9-5, Las Vegas. Pelham, the lefty, lifts his leg slowly and fires outside. 1-1. Well, Zach Humphreys 1 for 4 in the series. That one was a double. The Bees had the first 3 reach in the 5th, and all 3 would come in to score. 1-1. Humphreys down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Zach Humphreys, the 2021 Big 12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. 2-1 pitch. Down and away, 3 balls and a strike. He was excellent there at TCU. Had some time on the development list earlier this year, waited his time, and boy, when he got his opportunity, he's been cashing in a big way. He has been great this season, leading off. It's been great with 2 outs. Takes outside, a leadoff walk. Zach Humphreys, 7 for 17 when he leads off an inning. He's also hitting .405 with 2 outs this year. Leadoff man aboard, here's Aro Vera. After a slow start for Aro Vera with the Bees, started to heat up a little bit lately. Multi-hit game last night, single today, 4 for 11 in the series. Right-hand batter ready. Creeping to his lead at first is Humphreys. 9-5 Las Vegas, bottom of the 6th. First pitch, low. Vera takes ball 1. Infield shifted left. Beautiful twilight hour here on a Sunday night as stadium lights are starting to do a little more work. As Vera takes a strike, 1-1. I love this time of night. It's so beautiful out here. Hear the smattering of conversations with all the fans out there. The train making its way right to left as it's going to disappear behind that batter's eye. Fans on the berm, fans in the stands. Pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. Love it on these Sunday nights. You see some kiddos running up and down the stairs, and they're checking out everything from the putting greens to Bumble's house to the wiffle ball field, out beyond center field as well. You know, the berm is a great place to bring your family. 2-1. Vera smashes it out to right field. Dickey going back. That's going to get down, and 1 hop the wall. Rounding second on his way to third is Humphreys. Going into second is Aro Vera with a double. Aro Vera has had a nice series. His 2nd hit of this game. Back-to-back multi-hit games for Aro Vera. His 2nd double as a member of the Bees. Salt Lake with the table set in the 6th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. Back to the top of the order. Bees down 9-5. They just will not go away. Nelson Rada 1 for 3. Singled in the 5th inning. And started a 3-run frame. Corners in, middle infielders back. You always have to be on the lookout for Rada to lay one down. Not just to bring in a run or move a guy over, but also to get on himself. Both corners, edge of the grass, the pitch. Rada watches low, ball 1. Especially with Yomer Sanchez waiting on deck. Ben Goebel is in the hole. It's a big threat right now for Salt Lake to do some damage in the 6th inning. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. 9-5 Las Vegas. Lefty on lefty. 1-0 is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Nelson Rada, a .247 hitter with runners in scoring position. What it wouldn't show you is how good he's been at drawing walks in a number of scenarios. Timing violation, as that is against Pelham, I believe, and the count is 3-0. So there you go, 3-0 the count now. Runners at second and third. The Bees starting to get a few breaks here and there. Nelson Rada with the fans chanting his name. Corners now even with the bag. The 3-0 pitch. That nibbles down. That's ball 4. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And it brings up Yolmer Sanchez. Yolmer Sanchez, with the bases loaded, is 4 for 9 this year with a double. Big opportunity for Salt Lake in the bottom of the 6th inning. They trailed 6-0. They trailed 8-2. Now they're down 9-5. This inning started with a walk to Zach Humphreys. Art Olvera bounced one to the fence. Nelson Rada, a 4-pitch walk. Technically 3 pitches and a pitching or a timing violation if you want to dive deep into it. But Salt Lake now has some speed on the base paths. They have a veteran bat in the box. Yolmer Sanchez. 2 doubles with the bases loaded this year. A .333 hitter with runners in scoring position. Sanchez, 1 for 3. He singled in the 5th. He's looking to drive in some runs here in the 6th. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Here's the first pitch from Pelham. Sanchez skies it high in the air. Shallow right field, ranging over Stefanik. Coming in is Dickey. Stefanik waves his arms around. He'll make the catch. Infield fly rule was called. And out on the play is Yolmer Sanchez. But that brings up the very dangerous Ben Goebel. Well, Ben Goebel has had some kind of series. He's done just about everything you can think of. Big moments, he's had home runs. He's homered now 4 times in the series. He's done just about everything except hit a grand slam. First pitch. Goebel takes low, ball 1. This guy is scorching hot right now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bees down, 9-5. Ben Goebel has made himself right at home here in this ballpark and with the Bees. The pitch. Goebel fouls it off of himself, a ball and a strike. This has been a fun series, and it's had some late inning drama. But oftentimes the Bees have had an uphill climb against the best team in the Pacific Coast League, that being the Las Vegas Aviators. They won the PCL championship for a reason. They lead tonight 9-5. Goebel looking to cut into that. Goebel flies it high, deep center field. Back is Marlowe at the track. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third, coming in to score is Humphreys. Both the other runners move up 90 feet. Sack 8 and an RBI, Ben Goebel. 4 runs batted in tonight for Ben. It's 9-6 now here in the bottom of the 6th. Boy, off the bat. The ball jumped off of his bat. You knew he got a lot of it. You weren't sure if he got all of it. Well, with the way things have been going for Ben Goebel, it just feels like it's always going to be something good. It's at least productive, no doubt, as he brings in a run. On Candelario, and that's a strike. Counts 0-1. Vera now at third. Rada is at second. Candelario, a 2-run triple in the 3rd. And now the conversation continuing between Raul Moreno and Candelario. Candy looked like he was acknowledging it. He tapped himself on the chest and said, "My bad," earlier, as he knew right away when the timing violation was called. First pitch. Candelario swings and misses, and the count is now 0-2 because of the timing violation. Second and third. 2 out, bottom of the 6th, 9-6 Las Vegas. Candelario switch hitter now from the right-hand side. 0-2 pitch, fouled back. We'll do it again, no balls and 2 strikes. Went for Candelario. That 3-hit game last night. He's reached twice already today. We'd love to at least get a nice little 2-out knock here and make it a 1-run game. The 0-2. Candelario foul, tips it in the glove, strike.
The Les Olson 19 pitching change for your Salt Lake Bees. Number 14, Rob Kaminsky.
Top of the 7th inning, 9-6. Las Vegas leads over Salt Lake. A beautiful Sunday summer night here in Salt Lake City. Cade Marlowe is going to lead off the frame, followed by Tommy White and then Jared Dickey. Rob Kaminsky, the new pitcher on for the Salt Lake Bees. He takes over for Huascar Ynoa. Give you Ynoa's final line here in just a second as Ynoa, 1 inning of work, 3 hits, gave up a run. It was unearned. Las Vegas, 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Bees, 6 runs, 8 hits, and an error. First pitch, Marlowe swings and misses, 0-1. Marlowe 0 for 2, he's walked twice. He has 9 hits in the series, including a triple and a home run. A .404 hitter this year against the Bees. Squares the bunt, and yes, he did. On the bunt attempt, came up empty, and it's 0-2. Now Marlowe has had a great season so far this year. Guy that's, he ranks high in so many statistical categories offensively in the Pacific Coast League this year. It's incredible just how great the year has been for Cade Marlowe. The 0-2. Nibbles outside. A ball and 2 strikes. 5th best batting average. Marlowe, who's been great with extra base hits. He's always finding himself on base time and time again. And lines one over the leaping first baseman Nicholson and into right field. A base hit. Cade Marlowe, leadoff single against Rob Kaminsky. For more on Kaminsky, here's Sammy Miller.
Tony, Rob has found a lot of success this season by attacking the zone and getting ahead with his sinker, thus allowing his slider to play very well against opponents as he's able to save it for those kill counts. For him, it's all about pitch execution and sequencing. He also told me that it's been so important to develop that strong chemistry with his catchers so they can navigate through some tough lineups together, but as time goes on, that connection's only getting better.
Ground ball right side through the hole, base hit, rounding second, going to third is Cade Marlowe. Tommy White with a single, and the runner's now at the corners with nobody out in the top of the 7th, 9-6 Las Vegas. And it brings up Jared Dickey. He's lefty Kaminsky with a tough beginning to this outing as Las Vegas offensively just keeps doing what it takes to keep the Bees at an arm's length tonight. Jared Dickey had an RBI single in that 4th inning. He's 1 for 3, and Dickey grounds that foul first base side. Yeah, the Bees, they've had a nice night offensively. Now they're going to need to put up a huge number to come away victorious. Dickey with 2 runs batted in. He's actually 1 for 4, excuse me. Kaminsky from the stretch, the 0-1. And Dickey started after it, held up. And now coming home on the play is going to be Marlowe. He's going to score. The ball bounced in and out of the glove of Martinez. And it just kept dribbling forward out in front of home plate. Marlowe broke for home and he scores. It's a pass ball at the moment. 10-6 Las Vegas. Martinez just setting up to catch it. It was a soft check swing by the batter Dickey, and the ball just kind of gently popped out of the front side from the glove of Martinez. That's fouled right there at home plate. We'll do it at 1-2. It's a rare moment where a pass ball scores a runner as the ball goes between home plate and the mound. It's kind of a funky looking play. What a great read by Marlowe. I mean, just always paying close attention. As Martinez went to snag it, the ball just kind of slipped out from the top of the glove and then dribbled out to the grass in front of home plate. Marlowe broke on it, and with his speed and also his overall base running skill, his great instinct, he was able to go third to home. Still at first is White. Pitch is foul tipped into the glove. Nice squeeze, Martinez. One out in the top of the 7th. 10-6 Las Vegas. Here comes Chad Wallach. It was just a rare looking play. As Martinez is able to squeeze on that foul tip into the glove, but on the play that scored Marlowe, you just don't see that often. Here's the pitch. Wallach takes a called strike. Now Wallach reached with a 2-run triple in the first. He had a solo homer in the 3rd. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th. And then reached on an error in the 6th. Swings and misses. 0-2. Chad Wallach, who's been a part of some really fun memories here with the Bees, and then obviously with the Angels. We mentioned this throughout the week. Catcher for the no-hitter of Reed Detmers. I've always felt like that should be something catchers get the nod for. He downplayed that, but I disagree with him. Here comes the 0-2. Wallach takes down and away. A ball and 2 strikes. But for Wallach, watching him and the catchers during those years, whether it was Anthony Mulrine, Zach Humphreys was a part of that, Sebastian Rivero. He was one of those guys that it just feels like he has coaching in his future as the pitch is down 2-2. I was talking about this with some others. Well, you hear him talk and his overall knowledge of the game, but just he's an extension of the staff. When you're around him, you just sense that he has that sort of mindset, sort of attitude that would be great for coaching. So Wallach puts his high in the air to right field, ranging towards the line. Sanchez will slow down with plenty of room to make the catch. 2 out. At first base, Tommy White. 10-6 Las Vegas in this top of the 7th. And brings up Jack Winkler. Now Winkler, 3 walks on the night and a fielder's choice. He has scored twice. Las Vegas, 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the 6th, and 1 here in the 7th. It's a ground ball, softly hit to the third baseman, Candelario. Bald eagle swoop, throws to first, got him! Well done, 5-3, Candelario. Great play from the hot corner on a soft grounder, made his way to it, grabbed it with a bare hand in one motion, rifled to first in time. The inning is over, but another run on the board for the Aviators. They lead 10-6.
Leading out for your Salt Lake Bees, it's the catcher, number 28, Omar Martinez.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Salt Lake trailing 10-6. And on now for the Las Vegas Aviators. They turn to Brady Basso. Basso, 6'2", lefty from Pearland, Texas. Comes on, taking over for C.D. Pelham. As Pelham, his final line today, 1 1/3, 1 hit, 1 run it was earned, walked 2, struck out 2. Pelham was in some trouble in that 6th, but he held the Bees to just 1 run in the 6th inning. Pitch inside to Martinez for ball 1. Omar Martinez, so far tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk. Left-hand batter standing in the back of the box. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And he fouls it off of himself, 1-1. It was a big moment in that 6th inning for Pelham. He was in some real trouble. Gave up a leadoff walk and then a double and then a walk, and you could feel the Bees down by 4, possibly putting up a big crooked number, and instead they ended up with just 1 run. It's 10-6 Las Vegas. As Martinez grounds it foul right side. We'll do it at a ball and 2 strikes. Bees trailed by as many as 6. They've been able to get it down to 3. They erased a 6-run deficit last year to come from behind and beat the Aviators. Basso with a 1-2. Martinez swings and misses, strike 3. 1 out, nobody on. That'll bring up Kyron Paris.
Number 2, Kyron Paris.
Well, Brady Basso, so far this season, 3-2, an ERA of 5.79, 28 innings, 34 hits, 21 runs, 18 earned, 10 walks, 28 Ks. Opponents batting .296 against him. Kyron Paris 0 for 3. First pitch low, ball 1. Well, the Bees after tonight. Take off for Sacramento tomorrow. A 6-pack before the All-Star game. That'll be a big week in the California capital. And they'll host Reno for 3 right after the break. It starts a 9-game homestand. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 4 night games and a matinee today in the Pacific Coast League. 3 games, a final. As Reno beat Tacoma 2-1 in the Pacific Northwest. 1-1. Paris takes up 2 balls and a strike. Albuquerque victorious at Round Rock 7-3. In the Sooner State, Oklahoma City defeated Sugarland 8-2. The 2-1. Paris hits a hard hit ground ball through the middle into center field, a base hit. Well, Kyron Paris with his 2nd knock of the series. First hit of this game. He's aboard with 1 out, the bottom of the 7th. Well, you love that sound off the bat of Kyron Paris. That's when you know things are going well. No matter what his performances were really before this series, he was making great contact, and it's just been a tough series for him. Now he's on with his team trailing 10-6. Nicholson 0 for 2, 2 Ks and a walk. First pitch, Nicholson takes a strike. 0-1, Nicholson coming off of that 4 RBI game. He had a 2-run double and a 2-run homer on the 4th of July. The Bees put on a huge show in their 9-1 win. Nicholson watches that pitch upstairs, a ball and a strike. The Bees trying to rally here tonight against the best team in the PCL. When you're playing from behind against the Aviators, it is really tough, especially with Suero there to close it down in the eventual 9th inning as Nicholson swings and misses 1-2. One other game in action in the PCL, El Paso dominating with an 11-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th against Sacramento. 10-6 the score. Las Vegas leads. 1-2 the count. Pitch is hit high in the air down the left field side, giving Chase Puelvis. He'll stop by the side warning track as it clangs into the angled seats. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Another great souvenir nabbed by a happy fan down the left field line. Wonderful Sunday night crowd. Just has a different feel. It's not quite as euphoric as last night's crowd. You can tell they're having a great time. Swing and a miss, Nicholson. Strike 3, down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. 2 out, runner at first, bottom of the 7th. Las Vegas leading 10-6. For the Aviators, it's now strikeout number 9 for their pitching staff. Zach Humphreys 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Trying to keep this inning alive. Paris over there at first. Pitch misses away for a ball. Kyron always a threat to take off, a dynamic base stealer. He's had big base stealing numbers when he plays a full season. Even in a short amount of games, his overall base stealing numbers are usually impressive. That's bounced foul left side, 1-1. He's 7 for 7 so far this year. I love it. With Kyron Paris and a guy like Nelson Rada, and you have Christian Moore, who's not in the lineup tonight, but Christian always a threat to take off. Yelmer Sanchez. These have the speed to cause a lot of stress. Basso the 1-1, and it's grounded hard down the third base line foul. Ranging over to get it, White just in case. He'll throw it into Souvenir City. Basso 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. 10 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Las Vegas. Salt Lake, 6 runs, 9 hits, and an error. Well, when the Bees out-hit their opponent, their record has been stellar, 31-3. Although they're on the wrong end of that tonight. 1-2. Bounced hard, but right to the third baseman, White. He has it from the edge of the grass, throws to first in time. The inning is over.
Leading out for Las Vegas in the game that is the first baseman, number 7, Colby Alter.
A Gorgeous night here in Daybreak. 10-6, Las Vegas leads over Salt Lake. Colby Halter is going to lead off. The top of the 8th, Bryant Buelvis on deck, Drew Swift in the hole. Rob Kaminsky out there for his second inning of work, fires low for ball 1. Halter 1 for 4 so far in the night. He singled back in the 6th inning as Las Vegas has scored in each inning with the exception of the 5th, as that's bounced foul to the right side. And it's 1-1. It was a great night offensively for the Bees last night. 6 players had multi-hit performances. Tonight for the Las Vegas Aviators, 8 of the 9 members in their lineup have a hit. As the pitch is inside, 2 balls and a strike. Each member of the lineup has reached at least once. Winkler's the only guy without a hit, but he has 3 walks tonight. As the pitch is down. 3 balls and a strike. Six out of the 9 have an RBI. 3-1, bounced foul. Slowly dribbles over by the first base on deck circle. Well, it's just not a surprise why the Aviators are number 1 in the PCL. Just see it. Capitalize on opportunities. Always have a good approach. When they lose, they come right back the next day. They regroup. 3-2, softly bounced back to Kaminsky. He'll run it halfway to first. Underhand toss to Nicholson for out number 1. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Brian Buelvis. The Bees trail 10-6. If the Bees come up short tonight, they are 5-7 in the second half. It'll be a dogfight all the way to the finish in the second half for that final playoff spot. The Las Vegas Aviators, who won the PCL championship last year, they were on the brink of winning the AAA national championship. As the pitch is inside, 1-0. Buelvis 2 for 4, an RBI double and an RBI single. From the stretch, Kaminsky kicks and fires, and the 1-0 cut on a miss, 1-1. For more on a guy like Kaminsky, you look at his focus and how he idolizes Sandy Koufax in his career. It's the 1-1, it's bounced foul behind home plate. I've always thought, when you think of the greatest pitchers of all time, I've always said if my life was on the line, well, then I would go with Bob Gibson. But if you ask me whose best was better, I always feel like Sandy Koufax had a 6-year run that was just the best you could ask for. 1-2, cut on a miss, strike 3. 2 out, nobody on. Brings up Drew Swift. For more on Drew, here's Sammy.
Tony, Drew Swift has been saying forks up ever since he was a little kid, as he would go to Arizona State baseball games all the time and would sit there in awe of the players, just dreaming of one day representing the maroon and gold. And Drew added that he would sit along the grass on the first base lawn, eyes glued to the game, as his fellow Little League teammates were just running around playing wiffle ball. It was where he wanted to be, and he wasn't going to let anything get in his way of accomplishing those dreams. And his father, Pat, emphasized that when he looks back, those are such great memories, because that was where Drew had his dreams set, and that's where he really developed that strong work ethic, and it really lit a fire under Drew. But he sure did have an amazing career at ASU. Tony, you know me, I always have to give a shout out to my fellow Sun Devils.
And he has 3 hits on the night, a 2-out single. You know, Sammy, it's so special. You were there at Arizona State, and, you know, we know about Nico Cavadas, who had dreams of going to Notre Dame, and he would go to the football games and baseball games, and that's where he pictured himself being as Stefanik takes low. 1-0. Bees down 10-6 in the top of the 8th, but, you know, you think of something like that with Drew Swift, you know, dreaming what it would be like to wear that uniform, to play in those games, to play in that stadium, to, you know, to put the forks up, and to just everything that comes with that dream as a child. And I remember, you know, envisioning myself going to the University of Michigan, representing the school, being there, cheering at the games as the pitch is high, 2-0. And I remember just battling through academically to do whatever it took to qualify. And I will never, ever forget when it culminates to that moment and the University of Michigan said, yeah, you don't qualify. So good luck everywhere else. No, I'm joking, but I tried to build it up as if everybody's like, right. No, they were like, nice try, kid. Good luck. No, it's cool watching people's dreams come true. Honestly, it's Sammy, you and I, we've worked around this for a while. We work around college sports a lot as that's fouled high to the right side. You know, you had dreams as a kid doing what you're doing right now. And I had the same doing what I'm doing right now. And there is nothing like hearing these guys as we get to know them and their families. They tell us these wonderful stories about what it was like when they were so little. And to see them achieve this and experience this and to wake up every day and play a baseball game, you know, it's really special. Bottom of the 8th inning, fans jamming along to 80s in the 8th. You can do the same. Be with us at any future Bees home games throughout the rest of the year. Get your tickets at slbees.com. We're going to have a great time the rest of the summer because there's nothing like the summer fun here in the 801. Bees down 10-6. They need a late inning rally. They want to end this series the right way. It'll be Aro Vera. He has 2 hits on the night. He's 2 for 3. Nelson Rada on deck. He's reached twice tonight. Yolmer Sanchez is 1 for 4. He's in the hole. And so here comes Aro Vera. Aro Vera with a single in the 3rd, a double in the 6th inning. Boy, it's been fun watching him just continue to get better and better. Takes inside for a ball. Junior Tour is the new pitcher now for the Las Vegas Aviators. 6'6" right-hander from Cuba. Well, Junior Tour is the 1-0. Caught on and missed 1-1. He got the start against the Bees in the season finale last year. The Bees had a lot of success against them. They racked up a 6th spot in that 1st inning. They went on to win 8-4. Junior Tour. Next pitch to Vera. It's bounced foul behind home plate. Counts now at 1-2. Junior Tour 1-0, an ERA of 4.79. 39 hits, 26 runs, 25 earned. Walked 25, struck out 57. Opponents hitting .227 against him. I like the Las Vegas hat with the 4th of July celebration. Same with the Bees hat. It's a festive look out there this week. 1-2. Pitches high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And also the Bees jerseys last night. They had the red, white, and blue. It was like, you know, the stripes with the red over the chest, and then it was the sleeves going with the stars that were white with the blue sleeves. 2-2. It's up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's been a special weekend. It always is a special 4th of July weekend here at the ballpark at America First Square. It was last year. It is this year. And it will be in the future seasons. It's even better when they win. But it's also great when you see families and their traditions of coming out every 4th of July. As Vera bounces it back behind home plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's always an early arriving crowd. It's always an energized crowd. You just feel it. Each pitch. The crowd gets into it like they did last night. It's been a good crowd tonight, but the Bees have been battling from behind throughout the evening. Vera trying to get on base in this bottom of the 8th. Bees down 10-6, the 3-2, and it's grounded third base side, just foul. We'll do it again, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, tonight, Aro Vera, a multi-hit performance. Only other player with multiple hits tonight is Ben Goebel. He's 3 for 3. With 4 runs batted in and a 3-run homer. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Vera takes at the knees, called strike 3. What a spot there by Junior Tour. 1 out, nobody on. It's a great battle between these two. Tour had to make a big pitch, and he did. Bottom rail on the outside corner. It's a clutch pitch here, trying to stay out of any kind of trouble. The one thing you don't want to do is hand out a free pass to lead off an inning. Nelson Rada, 1 for 3 with a walk. In at third is White, the pitch. Rada dribbles it up the first base line, and it will go foul to the right. And onto the grass. 0-1. But I love how throughout the course of a year, each chapter brings something different. April, you're excited with the start of the season. You have some fun things like Easter, Jackie Robinson Day. It's just a lot happening. Then in May, as the weather starts to improve a little bit, there's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. But you can also feel it. I remember being the MC all around the ballpark, the excitement of school winding down, usually a kid's day and other great celebrations like Cinco de Mayo, Memorial Day weekend. 10-6 Las Vegas, bottom of the 8th. 1 out, 0-2 the count. Junior Tour with a head nod. Comes set from the belt, slowly raises his leg, kicks and fires inside 1-2. But, then after that first week when school is out, there's a different energy about the ballpark. And it's so much fun. You can feel it. The families are excited about it. 1-2. It's fouled left side. Do it again, a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. But it's also exciting because, they have their plans for the summer. The weather's getting better. All of a sudden, you don't have coats out there and hoodies. Instead, it's short sleeves and shorts. 1-2. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Then you move into 4th of July weekend. July was always the best month around here. It was so much fun. The old Smiths Ballpark, you had 4th of July in that week, and then you turn the page to the All-Star break. After that, the 24th of July week was a blast. It was just a month full of fireworks and fun. 2-2 pitch. Foul back behind home plate. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Great promotions all throughout August. That was always a good time with Princess Night. That was always during the month of August. Many times we'd have the Sandlot Night that would take place throughout that during one of their big anniversaries. 10-6 Las Vegas, bottom of the 8th, 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Rada swings and misses, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Junior Tour in the bottom of the 8th. While the Las Vegas pitching staff has had their hit-and-miss moments tonight, one thing they've been able to do is rack up the Ks. It's now punch out number 11. 2 out, nobody on. 10-6 Las Vegas. Here's Yolmer Sanchez, 1 for 4. And Sanchez takes up and in. He twists his head around. Ball 1. Sanchez now back to the left-hand side. Sanchez singled and scored in the 5th inning. Sanchez swings and misses, 1-1. I love now that the calendar for the minor league season goes into that 3rd week of September. Although we only have 1 home September series this year. I loved it when we would have 2. The weather was just terrific. 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. As you can just feel it cool off. Not cold, just cools off nicely. It makes it a lot of fun around here. The fans enjoy that. Here's the 2-1. Sanchez takes up and in, 3 balls and a strike. Ben Goebel standing on deck. Yolmer Sanchez trying to get on any way possible. Just keep this inning alive. 3-1. Sanchez puts it in the air high. Right field. Going back Dickey. At the track. At the wall. Has just enough room. And makes the catch 4 feet in front of the fence. A big exhale from Dickey after the catch. Caleb Ort is on now for the Salt Lake Bees. And for Caleb Ort, the 5th pitcher employed. Boy, Ort has had some great stretches lately. Cade Marlowe leads off the frame, takes outside for a ball. Marlowe's reached 3 times tonight, 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Scored a run as well. He's had a great series overall. Had the big 3-run homer in game 1. Caleb Ort, the 1-0 off the handle. Fouled back, 1-1. Boy, Ort 6 up, 6 down. And that great performance that he had in the combined shutout in game 2. Clausen went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits. That was it. He struck out 9. Ort struck out 3 of the 6 he faced. He faced the minimum 6. It was shutdown city. 1-1, line drive, past the lunging Vera at short into left center. A base hit. Marlowe motoring for 2. Here comes the throw from Paris. Head first slide, save. Cade Marlowe with a hustle double, his 23rd two-bagger of the year. You know, it's amazing when you watch this guy play, because if there's a chance, you know, he's going to turn, burn, and give it a shot. He knows it's going to take a great throw to get him over there at second base. And Cade Marlowe is in scoring position now with nobody out. Marlowe, who is second in the PCL in doubles, is the first pitch, a strike to Tommy White. But when you see the 23 doubles, you have to remember not all of them are wall bangers and in and through the gap. Some of them are just like that. Here's the 0-1. White takes up 10-6 Las Vegas, 1-1 the count. When a player like Marlowe does something like that, it energizes a dugout, it energizes a clubhouse. I don't think I have ever watched Cade Marlowe loaf it in my life. 1-1. It's grounded hard to the shortstop, Vera. He checks Marlowe at second. The throw to first is in time. 1 out. Marlowe still at second base. It brings up Jared Dickey. Marlowe with that oven mitt on that left hand. He's still breathing hard after hustling all over the place. But I love it. You come to the ballpark, especially here at America First Square, you're going to see the Bees and you're going to see the opponent with just a great effort. You know, especially if you have a youngster who loves to play, you're going to find a player that you're going to want him to watch or watch her to watch. Throw over to third. Got him! Marlowe took off on a stolen base attempt, nabbed by Martinez. Caught stealing 2-5. Before this series, Marlowe was perfect in stolen base attempts. Now he's been nabbed in 2 of his last 3. These catchers have done a nice job. Boy, Martinez just threw a seed down there. 2 out, nobody on. Here's the 0-1. Outside. A ball and a strike. You have a young son or daughter who loves to play. You come out to the ballpark. So many players you can learn something from. Cade Marlowe, I know he's gunned down there at third base. But they'll love watching a guy like Marlowe. Yolmer Sanchez, Nelson Rada. So many great examples out there. Here's the 1-1. Fouled straight back, a ball and 2 strikes. You know, up and down the lineup, both teams. I mean, each time we've had a series during this season, whether it's been here or on the road, but it's specifically here for the local fans. Well, there's a lot to pick up, whether you're just out for a great night or if you have a youngster wanting to learn something from the example of a Bryce Teodosio. And whatever it may be, this is the place to bring them. You're always going to learn something new. Here comes the 1-2. That's low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 10-6 Las Vegas, top of the 9th inning. Caleb Ward, boy, that performance he had at Albuquerque late last week in a barn burner. He had his back against the wall, the go-ahead run at third in the 8th with 1 out. He struck out 2 in a row, then had to pitch a scoreless 9th. He had 3 strikeouts in that situation. The 2-2 is grounded foul right side. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a victory defined by clutch moments. The Bees had plenty of them. Kyron Paris that night had, you know, the game tying knock. He had the go-ahead RBI, and then he had a great defensive play to close it down. There is another great souvenir for a happy fan on the right field side. She brought the cutest mitt too. But Caleb Ward, he was oh so clutch that night in Albuquerque. It was a big flex. 2-2 right down the boulevard. Called strike 3. The inning is over. Ort faces the minimum 3. Last call for the Bees though. They're down 10-6. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Wander Suero with 2 saves during this series. He saved game number 1 with 1 1/3 scoreless. Struck out 3, faced the minimum 4. Then in game 4 of the series, pitched a scoreless 9th inning. Faced the minimum 3, including a strikeout. For Wander Suero, this is not a save opportunity, but he is going to try to nail it shut. In this bottom of the 9th, he's going to face Ben Goebel, Jamer Candelario, and Omar Martinez. 3, 4, 5 hitters. 2 up for the Bees. Ben Goebel, when he leads off an inning, is 6 for 16. He has 1 leadoff homer. Goebel tonight, 3 for 3. with a 3-run homer. He has scored twice. He has 4 runs batted in, as he had a sac fly and an RBI back in the 6th inning. Goebel reaches the bat back ready. Suero rocks and fires. Inside corner, a called strike, 0-1. Wander Suero, who was a part of the AAA National Championship with the Sugar Land Space Cowboys 2 seasons ago. That was the best PCL team I have ever seen. 0-1, it's up. A ball and a strike. They were in control from the very beginning of the year, but one thing Wander Suero, one thing he did so well is it felt like he would take 3 or 4 outs away from you. The pitch looked good, but ruled outside. Chad Wallach thought it hit the corner.
Ball, the catcher is challenged.
Wallach taps his helmet. Everyone looks at the video more, and it looked good because it was good, right on the corner. And the count moves to 1-2.
Call is overturned. Las Vegas has 1 challenge remaining.
So a good challenge by Chad Wallach. The ball just barely clipped the zone. Ben Goebel with a 10-hit series. 1-2, leaves it high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wander Suero, I mean, if you look at what Las Vegas is putting together, it's a good offense. Key pitchers that come in and do their job, pitch inside 3 balls and 2 strikes. One key weapon could be Wander Suero down the stretch and in the postseason. We'll see what happens. Obviously, he could be called up. There's a myriad of things that could take place between now and then. 3-2, that's low, ball 4. So Ben Goebel reaches for the 4th time today. What a great performance by Ben Goebel. Not just tonight, but throughout this entire series. That's the 4th walk for Goebel this week, to go with 4 home runs, 2 stolen bases, a double, 12 runs batted in. I mentioned this before. He'll be a candidate for the player of the week. This is off the end of the bat from Candelario, right to the third baseman White, to second for 1, on to first, a double play. That went 5-6-3. 2 out, nobody on. Well played by White. Makes a good throw, swift, receives the throw well, and turns on it. It's kind of a new double play that we've watched over the last few years, as it's so unconventional. But they made it look routine. Omar Martinez beats down to their final out. They trail 10-6. Martinez takes the ball 0-1. Omar 0 for 3, 2 Ks and a walk. Las Vegas 1 out away from the series win as Martinez grounds it down the third base side and headed into left field, a base hit. Martinez will hold it first. Omar with his first knock of the night. And with the shift on, there's a vacated spot over there. There's one thing Alonzo Powell, the hitting coach of the Bees, talks about a lot. Omar's ability to hit the other way. We've watched him do it with power. He's gone to the gap. He's also had some opposite field home runs. But great to see him just simply do it with placement hitting. Kyron Paris singled in the 7th, and Paris puts it high in the air down the right field line, foul. 10-6 Las Vegas. Bottom of the 9th inning. Kyron Paris looking to just get on base any way he can. Ryan Nicholson on deck. He's down 10-6, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. There's the 0-1 from Suero, outside. A ball and a strike. Wander Suero, 6'4" righty from New Jersey. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Bees down to their final out and their final strike. Kyron Paris will use his timeout. Walking to his lead over there at first is Omar Martinez. Suero rocks, fires. The pitch is high. And it counts at 2-2. Kyron Paris with a big exhale. Battled injuries back in 2024, battled them last year. Continues to battle in a Bees uniform this year. 2-2, hard hit, ground ball down the third baseline fair, headed towards the corner. Martinez around second on his way to third. He'll stop there. It's a 2-out double for Kyron Paris. Paris starting to flex towards the end of the series. And the Bees now need 1 more to reach before they can bring the tie run to the plate. Little chalk roller right down the third base line, just outside of the reach of White, the third baseman. Here's Ryan Nicholson. Nicholson had 4 runs batted in last night. He's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks and a walk tonight. Trying to get on base any way he can. Nicholson, open stance, first pitch, outside, ball 1. Martinez with a casual lead at third. Paris, mild lead at second. 1-0, up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, if you're Nicholson, yeah, just doing what it takes to pass that baton. Zach Humphreys is standing on deck. Three 3-0, pitch is upstairs. Well, you definitely go take sign here. He's down 10-6, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. Runners at second and third. Nicholson, the 3-0 pitch, taking, and it was called inside, but challenged by Wallach, the catcher. Wallach thought it hit the inside corner. The review said it missed, barely. I mean, by a millimeter.
Call is confirmed now.
Okay. Bases loaded. 2 out. 10-6 game. And when you've been down all night long, you're down 4 going into the bottom of the 9th. When it's been a tough night like this, all you want is a chance. Well, the Bees have a chance. The tying run comes to the plate at Zach Humphreys. Las Vegas has led all night long. Bryce Teodosio's coming out of the dugout. He's going to run for Ryan Nicholson at first base. So Teodosio running over there at first. So right now you have Martinez at third, Paris at second, Teodosio at first. Zach Humphreys is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. So Zach Humphreys, a .233 hitter with runners in scoring position. With the bases loaded this year, he's 1 for 2. Humphreys has not hit a home run yet this season. Oh, this would be a great time for that. Humphreys, right-hand batter, open stance, first pitch. Humphreys, skyscraper, high in the air, shallow center, going out to second baseman Stefanik. Swift going out, coming in is Marlowe. He makes the running catch, and the ball game is over. So is the series. The Las Vegas Aviators take the finale by the final score of 10-6. They take the series 4 games to 2. Of the Las Vegas Aviators,